Happy Monday evening. Not often we get to say that on Barça Live. Welcome to Matchday 24 of the league season. Barça, after Real Madrid's victory, are 2 points off top spot. They know if they win tonight, they'll go back top of LaLiga. And it's a Catalan derby. It's Girona versus Barça. So always a special occasion. And for such a special occasion, we had to bring Spencer Siegel back on. Spence, we know this is a special one for you. Welcome back for Barça. Job to do, especially after that cup upset, if you like, midweek. 4-0. Not the result everyone wanted, but now a chance in the league to get back on track. But this won't be easy.
Yeah, I was watching that one from home, and I was thinking, man, I don't want to be Alex Ibaceta or Pablo Wills Blanco right now, because I can only imagine, especially during a little delay that went on in the second half, how things might have gotten out of hand. Yeah. But you guys pulled through. Yeah,
we're here. I'm here, aren't I? So.
You got through it. The worst is over, and I'll be here for the return leg. So.
I'm already thinking about it, Spence. Yeah, I'm already thinking about it, yeah.
Maybe there's... Listen, we're going to have to sell it somehow, so it's going to be like, you never know, man.
Oh, yeah, we'll be here.
But let's focus on La Liga, because that's what we're here for tonight. And this is a really fun game. I always love this one. It'll be exciting. I think it'll be a good game. Okay. Both teams seem to be in pretty good form if you throw out the game from midweek last week. Yeah. But yeah, let's see what happens tonight in a little Catalan derby.
Yeah, certainly. So it's one of those fixtures that it's a nice one, isn't it, throughout the year, I think. Since Girona got re-promoted, I mean, often the Catalan derby, if you like, has been Barça Espanyol, the one that's, everyone speaks about. But this has been a nice touch, hasn't it? A nice addition. It's a different sort of feel of a derby. It really is. I want to say a warm welcome to everyone in the live chat for tonight's game. A Monday night, a different sort of one for all of you, but thank you for joining us. 4x4 Charlotte is in, Bruna's in, Robert's in, Mac Lumbist is there, Minecraft, Ali says Rafinha is back. Yes, Rafinha is indeed back. A massive and warm welcome to all of you in the members live chat. Well, they said it, Spence. One of the best pieces of news today is indeed the return of Rafinha, and that's because he's back in the Barca squad. Flick confirmed in yesterday's press conference that he's fit, he's ready to go, and this is the Barca team. No messing about from Hansi Flick. Rafinha just goes right in. There he is at left wing in tonight's lineup. Joan Garcia is in goal. Koundé right back. Koubarsi and Eric again are at centre back. Eric, by the way, sent off midweek. He's suspended for the second leg, not for this one. Gerard Martin gets another left-back. Interesting, with Cancelo and Balde on the bench. De Jong, Olmo and Fermin in midfield with Lamine, Ferran. And there you have it, Rafinha back in the team, Spence.
Yeah, it was about time. It was about time that we got to see him back in the 11. And that front three, I think, works really well for today. We're going to talk about a little bit later about our key players, but without giving it away, I think those front three are going to be really important, not just in their attacking today, but also because of the way Girona like to play. And playing typically out of the back means high pressure and trying to create turnovers, which Barça have done in this stadium as recently as last year. There were a couple of those goals that came from something like that.
Yeah, certainly so. Yeah, 4-1 win here for Barca last year. Not been an easy place to go. Of course, we can't forget 2 seasons ago, Spence, the 2 4-2 wins for Girona and that historical season for them. There's the Barca team. Then rate it from 1 to 10 in the members live chat. Lots of fans saying, hey, the best news is, of course, that Rafinha is back. I couldn't agree more. It certainly is wonderful. Let's go straight to the Estadio Montilivi, where we have our colleague Llorenç Tarrés ready, wrapped up for this one.
Good evening, Pablo. Let me say hello to Spence. I know you would like to be here in Montilivi. You know very well this atmosphere. Benvinguts a Montilivi, companys, tot preparat per al gran derbi català. Un partit avui importantíssim per al Barça. Ho deia Hansi Flick ahir, L'equip està en el bon camí, no ens equivoquem, tot i, evidentment, la dolorosa derrota al camp de l'Atlético a l'anada de les semifinals de Copa. Però l'equip ha de continuar en la bona línia que està demostrant a la Lliga. I aquest és l'objectiu, perquè els propers 3 compromisos, el d'avui, el del Llevant i el del Villarreal, seran de Lliga, en què el Barça intentarà defensar el liderat que de moment té el Madrid després de la seva victòria, amb una mica de polèmica, contra la Reial Societat. Un partit on avui recuperem l'esperit del capità. Rafinha torna a ser a l'11 blaugrana i aquesta és una sensacional notícia per a Hansi Flick i els seus jugadors. Tot preparat per veure aquest partidàs. Avui el Barça vol fer els deures, tancar la jornada amb una victòria, tornar a ser líder i mirar amb optimisme tot el que ve per endavant. Com diu sempre Hansi Flick, ens trobem en el millor moment de la temporada. A Montilivi ja tenim a la gespa els dos equips escalfant, per tant, tot a punt. De seguida el tècnic alemany amb nosaltres i li farem les preguntes de rigor abans d'aquest Girona-Barça. Quin derbi català tan bonic el que tenim avui.
Absolutely so. Beautiful Catalan derby lining up this evening for us. Thank you very much, Llorenç. Spence, a big talking point coming into this one, of course, is that Atleti game. How much do you think that's going to impact tonight's encounter? Because Barca, in general, have been really good of late. 17 wins in 19 in total. That, of course, was a big blip. It was a blip unexpected. 4 goals down in half-time. No one thought it would happen, of course.
Yeah.
What do you think that affects today, though? Because Barca have been really good in the league still. There's no doubt about that. But do you think there is a dressing room there going, guys, minute 1 today, straight out there, maybe different than they would have been before that Atleti defeat?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I watched the whole first half of that game, and then admittedly, I decided to see what else was available to me because I just couldn't stomach what was going on. So, listen, that game is, I think, a sort of a goldfish moment for them where these guys are professionals and they sometimes you get punched in the mouth right out of the gate, and that's what happened. I mean, everyone's entitled to a bad half of football. The second half, as it started, was looking like it was going to be a good response, which, if I remember right, and now my years and rounds are starting to blend together, but Barça had that against Atleti in the Copa a couple of years ago when I think they went down 2-0 and then they came back and they won the game 4-2.
Yeah.
So they were ready for that response. It's one bad half of football, and that happens. I don't think it's going to carry over into tonight at all.
Okay, I'd like to hear that from you, Spence. Different competition, of course, and Barca know they've got work to do. Real Madrid keep on winning. Credit to them. They are having a strange season, but points-wise in LaLiga, they're right up there. Already 60 points this season. Barca can go to 61 tonight with victory. Spence, you mentioned it earlier, key player for tonight's game. We have some options. We've gone attacking options. You and me both here have thrown these in there. There they are. We've got Dani Olmo, Ferran Torres and Rafinha. Could be a big night for Olmo. He may have to play deeper with Fermin in the 10 again. That's very much been the way Flick's like to have done things, isn't it, with Pedri's absence. Ferran, I think, needs a big night. I thought he struggled at the Metropolitano, and I think Flick has shown confidence in him tonight, going for him, maybe trying to expose some space in behind. And then Rafinha, surely that's the name on all the fans' lips tonight, right?
So most people, I'm guessing, are going to pick Rafinha as the key player. We'll see what the chat says, what they throw in here, but I'm going to stall for 5 seconds and let them get their answer in, and then I'm going to give you my answer, which, as you might be able to guess, is not Rafinha.
Okay.
This, there we go already. We've got
Rafinha,
Minecraft, who's already got a Rafinha in there. But it's, so I'm going with Ferran.
Okay.
But it's very much not for the reason that you said. You're saying maybe he can expose some space in behind. There is no space in behind against Girona.
Okay.
They play to the back line. They play all the way back to Gazzaniga. Listen, I've been to a lot of these games.
Yeah.
Generally, every Girona fan has their heart in their mouth when the ball goes back there because that's the way they like to play. That's the way they've been trained to play. And sometimes it backfires. So for that reason, Ferran's pressure tonight, his high energy of getting after the ball and just constantly running. Rafinha, too, because he's going to be up there. And we know how much Barca love to high press. Yeah. That's the key for me. Not what he does in attack, but what he does in the high pressure to turn defense into immediate scoring opportunities.
Okay, you're going without the ball, Ferran, almost.
Exactly.
To win the ball back. Interesting insight. Yeah. We will, of course, have a good discussion on Girona, Spence, because it will be interesting to get your opinion on how they're going to really set up tonight and whatnot. I'm going to have to go to Rafinha. I know it's an obvious one, forgive me, but I do think... And I said it on Thursday night, without him and Pedri, this is a completely different team, and I'm well aware you could go around every team in Europe and pick out 2 of the best players and say the same, but my God, when he's leading from the front, we do look like a different outfit. You spoke about without the ball. I think without the ball, when Barca have Rafinha on the pitch, we are infinitely better, so... I think he's huge tonight. I really do. But Barca are going to need a good performance all round. I think Flick's gone very strong, understandably. The schedule has calmed down a bit for us of late. It really has, or it will, I should say, in coming weeks. We don't play until Sunday, then until next Saturday. It's a lot cooler. It's a lot calmer. It's good news for Barca, so that certainly is a positive. Lots of comments in the chat here. Robert says, Olmo, we're the best Galatasaray. Says Fermin. Perita Malaguita says 1. Olmo, interesting. Lots of Olmos then, and Olmo and Juan from Gloria. Right, let's hear from Hansi Flick. Let's see what he has to say ahead of this one. You know this is a big, big test for Barca this evening, and a big one for them. Not to get back on track with being in good form, but still to keep up the fight at the top of the table. Here's Hansi Flick.
Yeah, next to Hansi Flick as usual before the game. Hi, Hansi.
Hello.
It's an important game for the team to keep the good way and especially to keep the first position and after what happened in Madrid, this defeat against Atletico.
Yes, of course. Everyone looks about our response, so it's about that. The right answer we have to show on the pitch, but at the end, one result doesn't change who we are. We are Barça, and we played a fantastic season right now. Okay, and we don't build it with an accident. We build it with character. We build it with discipline. We build it with quality, and this is. Appreciate this a lot, and now, of course, we have to give the right answer.
And this is a derby. This is a special game for Catalan fans, and Girona wants to keep the ball, to move, to play good football. What kind of game do you expect against Michel's sides?
No, it's the same idea. Let's at the end, they want to keep the ball. We want to keep the ball. It's about ball possession. It's about less mistakes. Beginning in the very first second. So this is very important for today. And it's a game always with the ball. Who is able to control the ball? Who is able to use the arrows from the opponent? And hopefully we are in this.
And the last one, let me ask you for Rafinha, of course, the man of the night. He's back, and how important for the team, for the spirit of the captain.
Yes, he's very important. So we will see how long does it goes today. We have a clear plan for him today, and we follow that. But we are happy that he's back.
Good luck, Hansi.
Thanks.
There you go. Immediately, Hansi Flick saying we have a plan for Rafinha tonight, which I thought was interesting to see. Maybe how many minutes Rafinha does end up getting. Let's see. And an interesting also, Spence, he said it's about who makes maybe less mistakes or controlling those mistakes. Maybe that's what you were speaking about with the pressure Barca will put on that Girona back line.
Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, we've already touched on it, right? That's going to be a big part of this game, I think, is what Barca do without the ball, which is not usually what we end up talking about.
Cool, Edis. I want to ask you a question. Those of you who are members in the live chat, where are you watching us from today? Let us know. And it leads us on a bit to Girona, Spence, because back to yourself, of course. I mean, both of us, of course, not from Catalonia, but with such a strong affiliation with Spanish football. In your case, with Catalan football, if you like, and you're going to Girona, supporting the club, if you like, or having such a strong affiliation with the club, and Barça, of course, through the programs or whatnot. Extra special night for you, right?
Yeah, man. Listen, I've done these games before on this show, and I think I don't like giving the caveat at the beginning, but I think it is important to say because this isn't Barça Español, and for me, like everybody's different, but for me personally, my first game ever in this country was Barça Girona at the Camp Nou in 2018. It was 2-2, goals from Piqué, Messi, Stuani, and Porto. And that was that was my first introduction to La Liga ever. And so and then obviously, you know, I live in Girona because that was the place that I chose to live when I came here. And I love Girona as a city, and I love Barcelona as a city, and I love both clubs. And so that's why these games are great, and I support both clubs. Tonight, let's make no mistake. Yeah. We're here. We got this crest on. Girona are at the moment are not in danger of relegation. Barca are
you're a bit calmer, yeah.
Barca are looking. I'm a bit calmer than I was last year. I'll tell you that for sure. Okay. Barca are looking for a trophy. They're looking to win La Liga. They need to win this game to keep it up. So I just want to set the record straight.
No.
Visca el Barça y Visca Catalunya.
Yeah, certainly so. It's a special one, and it's a nice touch. I think, Spence. I think it's a nice touch, and it's always nice to chat a bit about your love for Girona. I do like it indeed. Lots of flyers coming in the chat, Spence, as you can imagine, from people all around the world watching us on. A lot of the usual suspects. Peter Maraitas from Sevilla, Minecraft from Hungary, Alia, Slovenia. There we have.
What is that flag? It's Mosaic. I haven't.
That is Oman.
Nice.
We had to search this up a few months back actually, and Oman. So lots of flyers, guys. We love the support, we really do, and thank you for indeed tuning in for this one. Spence, We're about 15 minutes from kickoff here. You can see the Barca players looking focused, energized for this one. Rafinha's been leading a lot of the warm-up. Let's speak about Girona a little bit then. Let's get their lineup up on the screen right now. I can get up in the formation manual, in fact. Here it is. This is what it's down at on paper. Banat very much leading the line. Brian Gil, we know he likes to stay to the touchline, get crosses in. That's what they've gone for. Arnau Martinez at the left-back spot. Gazzaniga, of course, in goal now with that Ter Stegen injury. Witsel scored a wonderful overhead kick in the reverse fixture. Give us a bit of an overview of what we can expect from Girona this evening, what that lineup tells you, and what we think Hansi Flick will be up against.
Yeah, it's funny. I hadn't actually recalled until we were talking earlier in the pregame, the pre-show meeting, that Ter Stegen wouldn't have been able to play this game anyway for the fear clause, so it wouldn't have mattered. It is a shame he got injured, but right now, I would say this is a team that if you're Barça, you just have to be careful because Madrid came here in the first half of the season to Montilivi, and it finished 1-1. And that certainly helped Barça in their quest. But it's one of those games where, if you're going to this game as a Girona fan, you go, well, you never know. As a Barça fan, you're thinking, we got to get out and win. Yeah. The thing is, they love to have the ball, and this midfield, I'm a little surprised that Fran Beltran, who was their new signing in January, isn't here. The fact that Michel's gone for Axel Witsel in that 6 role tells me that he wants a little bit more veteran leadership, but that comes at the expense of Axel Witsel, who I think he's 36, 37. I mean, he's not. He doesn't have spring chicken legs, as they say anymore. He's not very fast, so he's going to have to sit a lot further back if they need that to work. Lamar's had a decent season. Ivan Martin is solid, but the midfield is where Barca should win this battle. Realistically, where Olmo and Fermin and Frankie dominate the proceedings once they have the ball. But I come back to it, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we're going to see what happens when the game gets played. Yeah. That pressure, because Girona like to play out of the back, is key. If Barca can just get out with Rafinha and Ferran and Lamine and win the ball high up the pitch, they should find themselves with a couple of early, easy scoring chances. We'll see.
Okay, let's very much hope that's the case. Is there a possibility there, Spence, tell me if I'm wrong, that Witsel plays at centre-back in a 3 or no? That's going to be a 4.
Maybe as a back 5, but I would be very surprised because that's not typically how they play.
Okay, understood. Right, there you go. That's the Girona team then, people. Spence, we're moving on now to quite an exciting little element of today's programme.
Is it time? Let's go.
It's the pre-game quiz, people, and a little bit different this time around because usually I'm conjuring up my same old questions for you lot and for Spence or for Alex. Tonight, no. We've had a bit of discussion, haven't we, Spence?
Oh, yeah.
And Spence has conjured up a quiz for me to answer.
I'm sick of him putting all the questions in and just thinking like he runs the place and knows. It's your turn to feel the pressure, my friend.
And I promise I haven't looked them up. So here we go, guys. Quiz is in. As always, all of you play along.
Let's do it.
Question number 1, Spence. I'm going to let you lead it. Here you go. There you go, mate.
Question number 1. Which trio of these players have scored an equally team best 4 goals in the meetings, historically, between Barça and Girona? Is it Lewandowski, Suarez, and Messi, Lamine, Pedri, and Messi, or Lamine, Pedri, and Suarez?
And this is tough, by the way.
There are only 3 players who have scored 4 goals.
Yeah? Okay.
And then others have scored 3, 2, 1, etc. But 3 of these players have scored 4 goals against Girona in their career as a Barca player. 1, 2, or 3.
I immediately thought, Spence, when I saw it, this is a good question, by the way. I immediately thought it's not going to be Pedri, but the fact that he's on there twice made me think. And of course, he scores this season against them in the reverse fixture. Yep. He scored last season in the 4-1 at Montilivi.
Yep.
He scored it a 1-0 at Montilivi, I remember. Yep. I just can't remember a 4th is where I'm stuck here. I just can't remember a 4th is and you said there's players with 3, so there could be a 4th in there, do you know what I mean? But I can't remember one. Suarez, I mean, it's like if I was to, we don't have maybe enough time for me to remember all of them, if you know what I mean. So in that regard, it's a bit of a tricky one. Messi, you're just thinking it's obvious, right? Messi must have.
I told you he scored 1 in the 2-2.
Yeah, Messi must. Messi against Girona, he scored that lovely little dink. I remember in the 2-0 once. That was a good one. Oh, I
think you're up against the clock.
I think Messi's got 4, so I'm going to go Messi's in there for me. And I think Messi, Suarez, and Lewandowski I'm going to go for, Spence.
Let's see it. Bring it to
Where am I?
us.
Okay, I've lost it a bit. That took a lot of mental work, but I've almost guessed in the end. Hey!
Nicely done. And the chat was pretty good with it too.
Yeah,
The chat got most of them right.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
And they maybe took less time than me as well.
They did. Listen, we have to at least elaborate a little bit on the city because it is a beautiful city. Oh, we didn't have commas in there. That's okay. What do we?
I'll tell you what. We did. It hasn't translated into the.
Just pretend there's a comma in there for these numbers.
That's a tough read, isn't it?
Girona has it, as you can tell, it's not as big as Barcelona. What is the population of the city of Girona? Is it 85,000, 110,000, or 190,000?
I'm unfortunately completely stuck here, and I purely am going to have to guess here. I'm going to get off the chat, by the way, so I don't get any clues. Spence, I'm just going to have to stab in the dark here, and I'm going to go for the typical stab in the dark answer, which is to go for 110,000, number 2, and just hope for it.
He goes for the stab in the dark. And?
No!
2 for 2? Pablo Wooly Blanky. My goodness.
That one, I'm really terrible with things like this, actually.
110,000, more or less the same population as Santa Coloma de Gramenet, Santaco, which is a little tiny suburb close to Badalona next to Barcelona, but it's off in its own world, Girona. It's way out there. It's an hour and 10 minutes from here. Final question.
2 from 2.
2 for 2. Can you make it 3 for 3? We're getting back to the fixtures. These two teams have scored a lot of goals. A lot of goals recently. How many meetings in a row have both teams scored in this fixture? It's at least 4. Is it 4, 5, or 6?
Oh, that's tough, man. That is tough. I am thinking there's a nil. The 1-0 that Pedri scores in is the last time I'm thinking that there's no goals. I just don't know if that was the first or second fixture that season. If you get where I'm coming from,
I do.
What was the home fixture and when was it that season is where I'm completely stuck here. When on earth did we play Girona at home in the 22-23 season? My God, man. But in that regard, Spence,
I think you're gonna have to give an answer. I think that's how it works.
I'm gonna have to gamble and say that was the last one, which if my calculations are right, then I'm going to go 2 per season, plus the 1 this season where there were goals, and I'm going to go 5.
He says 5.
Shall I?
Do it to it.
Oh!
Goodness. I couldn't stop you. I couldn't stop you, man.
Don't bring the questions to the quizmeister.
You were unstoppable today. You ran the table. Congratulations. Well done. Can we get a clap?
I enjoyed that. We can. There you go. You told me small.
Well done, Pablo.
You know what, Spence? I enjoyed that, and we could make it a bit of a thing maybe where we do a few more. We can see.
I don't work for free. All right, maybe.
Let it be known that's not happening again. Is what Spence has just done there. Well done, guys. Any of you who got the correct answers, by the way, in the members live chat, of which there were a few. Spence, am I right in saying maybe were there? Okay.
Yeah. No, a lot of people. Apparently, I didn't fool very many people. Although the last one I got a few. Last one I didn't. A couple people missed out. But no, good job, chat.
Football Watchers claiming I got 3 out of 3. Yes, well done, Football Watcher 34587. Well done to you. Still over 6 minutes to go until this one, Spence. Guys, let us know in the members live chat your mood for today in one emoji. That's what I want to see. I want to see some emojis in the chat. I'm going to go for the win emoji just straight up. No messing about from me. I think this has to be 3 points for Barça and nothing more. You said, Spence, don't want to get drawn into a more tricky game tonight. Just want to get the job done this evening. Which also, I think, is a good time to bring up our predictions for tonight's game, Spence.
All right.
Which is quite funny, because these are them.
Oh, my goodness. Seriously?
Yeah.
You asked me my prediction, and...
I kept a poker face.
Honestly, the last couple of times I had to do this game, I predicted a draw because I was trying to be, somewhat impartial, but I can't do that. Today, Barça are going to win, I think.
3-1 you've gone for, and this was funny because Llorent sent me a voice message as well earlier in the morning when he was on the way to the game, and he was like, 3-0 maybe? He was like, no, 3-1. And I thought, I already had in my head in the morning, I was like, I'm going 3-1 tonight, and I don't want to change it. And there we go, we've all gone 3-1.
Well, then that's going to be the final score, isn't it?
If it's not...
Did Llorent give his goal scorers like usual?
He did, yeah. I'll need to have a look and remember them. I think I remember a Lamine. I think a Frankie de Jong was in there, by the way, guys. So there were a few. Let us know your predictions Bruna says I also said the same thing this morning. There you go. So everyone has woken up thinking that the score...
And Minecraft also.
Wow, there you go. Minecraft gone 3-1 as well. Perita Malaita's gone 2-0 to Barça. George has gone 6-7. I don't know if that's just a joke.
That is definitely a joke.
Yeah.
Although you know what? I don't know. The first time we get a La Liga game or like a Champions League game or something that ends with that scoreline, even if Barca aren't included, that's going to make headlines.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, hell of a game, too.
Maybe, unfortunately, yeah. Mac Lumbus has gone for 5-1. George has gone 4-0. Football Watcher said, yeah, I'm going to go 3-1. It sounds pretty reasonable. There you go, guys. Barca players, by the way, are back in the tunnel, just preparing now to get back out there for this one. Just over 4 minutes to go until it's match day 24 in the league season. Spencer, we said it before, bit of rest after for Barca in this one. Let's get the Barca lineup back on your screens, people. This is what Hansi Flick has gone for tonight. Joan Garcia gets the nod in goal, of course. Koundé, Koubarsi, Eric, and Gerard Martin, maybe the biggest surprise in that lineup, Spence. De Jong, Olmo, Fermin, and Lamine, Ferran, and Rafinha. With Cancelo and Balde indeed on the bench, that's probably the biggest nod. Is that solidity at the back he's going for? Just maybe resting a few of the legs. Balde's played an awful lot of football of late.
Yeah, he is the biggest surprise, I would say, Gerard Martin. But I don't know if Balde would be as necessary if... or I should say it like this. I feel like he would be more essential to that side of the pitch if Rafinha wasn't there. But because we've got Rafinha today, it's all good.
I'll tell you what, let's go over to game commentary because the players are out on the pitch. It's match day 24 in La Liga, and boy, is it a special one. It's a Catalan derby, Girona versus Barça at Montilivi. This is the sort of game we always look forward to here whenever it comes around. And this time around, Barça, they know they need 3 points if they want to go back to the top of La Liga. Girona have certainly been in better form since the turn of the new year. Some big wins along the way. They dramatically lost a few points against Sevilla last time around, but they are 2 points above the drop zone, still themselves in need of... Forgive me, as I choke, of picking up points. So this is, Spence, what we expect to be a really exciting game, and a special one too, certainly, in La Liga this evening, isn't it?
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. There's a lot of love between these two clubs in comparison to other derbies that we've seen, especially in this region of the country. But that doesn't mean that the two teams haven't been competitive over the years. We've seen them be competitive this year. Barça got a very late win in the first half of the season thanks to Ronald Araujo. This rivalry has grown as the years have grown, with Girona being in the top flight. So they come to play, and Barça should be ready for this one. I think they will be. They have, I would say, outside of that half of football that they played last week, they've proven that they can beat anybody on any night. Yeah,
certainly so. This is how Girona lines up, and indeed Michel, Gazzaniga, Rincon, Reis, Blind, and Arnau Martinez. Witzel's in midfield. We spoke about his brilliant goal before this one. And leading the line is Banat for Girona. Top players in there too. Watch out for Thomas Lemar. Sigankov, of course. Brian Hill has always been a bright young Spanish winger. Let's see how he can hit the mark this evening. There's Cesar Soto, the referee for tonight's fixture. Frenkie de Jong will captain Barça despite the big news of the return of Rafinha, which you'll see in a few moments' time. He is in the Barça team. It's been a very successful 2026 so far for Barça, pretty much bar that remarkable game away to La Real, and indeed, of course, the cup slip-up midweek. Here's Hansi Flick's team then. Joan Garcia in goal, Eric, Koubarsi, Koundé, and indeed Gerard Martin, who gets the nod at left-back, with Pedri's absence still very much the case. De Jong is in midfield next to Olmo and Fermin, and Hansi Flick has elected to go for Ferran Torres to lead the line. He's flanked by Lamine and the returning Rafinha.
Yeah, we said it in the pregame. Lamine, Rafinha, Ferran, all three of those are going to have to deliver the high pressure tonight, and it wouldn't surprise me to see a couple of turnovers high up the pitch. Let's see if they can convert that, turn that into chances.
Big embrace there from Rafinha, who just gave a few words, didn't he, a few moments ago into that Barca huddle, as if to say, focus for this one, guys. We can't really let this one slip away. Barca will know the importance of winning tonight, and indeed winning well. There's beautiful Estadio Montilivi Stadium. It's going to be encompassing this one. Just seconds away from kickoff. Barca in their Blaugrana strip. Girona in the red and white as always. And there is Thomas Lemar. And Ferran Torres, feel like it's a big night for him. Wasn't quite on it midweek, but certainly no one from Barca was. You can certainly say that Ferran, Barca's top scorer this season, and he gets the nod ahead of Lewandowski this evening. So here we go then, people. It's Girona versus Barça. We're seconds away from getting underway. One of those fixtures we certainly always enjoy, and it's Ferran Torres who does indeed get the first contact with the ball. The little pocket of Barca fans in that corner there over in the top left-hand side for this one as Barca immediately gets started. Spence, it's important for Barca to not start sleepy today as they did at the Metropolitano, because Girona will try and catch them up early here, as that was vital from Kubarsi. Wasn't it on the bad ball to the back post? I think Sigankov was in an offside position. He was. Just said it. Must start well early.
Yeah, that was a quick turnover and honestly a pretty good chance. Although I didn't see that. You know what time it is, right? Flag just went up. Come on now, there it is.
You know what's funny, Spence? I feel like whenever we do a commentary together,
yeah, hand it over like a sword.
Sorry,
like a sword. Here it is. Whoa, careful.
Within 1 minute, an offside gets given. There you go. The flag is up, people.
Thank goodness I wasn't here last week. My goodness.
Look at Joan Garcia in a little bright, luminous strip today, just playing the ball out wide here too. Gerard Martin spoke about it being a big night for him. Maybe a bit more defensive solidity is what Flick's looking for in that position. Here's Rafinha then. Rafinha trying to play through the middle of the field. He'll go back here to Eric Garcia. And indeed to Joan Garcia now, who can mop the ball up at defence. This is Eric now once more for Barça. And Eric Garcia, who enjoyed a very successful loan period, of course, at Girona. I thought he was excellent, Spence, in that season that got Girona Champions League football. They were above Barca for a lot of the season as well that time around. And, well, he's returned some play, hasn't he, from that spell he had under Mitchell, who he always speaks very highly of.
Yeah, so obviously that season was, I think, one in a million. Yeah. If you're talking about Girona, the truly unbiased opinion from the game that they played here that year at Montilivi, that was the best football game I think I've ever been to from a pure footballing standpoint, because Christensen scored the most insane worldly goal I've ever seen, and then 70 seconds later Dovbyk had one in the back of the net for Girona. There was another goal from, I think it was Lewandowski who scored for Barca.
Yeah, penalty.
And then there was another one from Porto that he plucked out of the sky. Like, it was just
unbelievable, the Porto goal. Yeah.
And then they clinched the Champions League on that night, so it was crazy. But this is, I think Barca tonight should be looking to attack early, like you said. They really need to wake up and get out quick.
Okay, that's what you're looking for. Here's Brian Hill. And that should be a Barca ball, in fact. There's a question for you in the members' live chat. Who will be the first scorer for today's game? Ferran, Lamine, Rafinha, or other?
I like that. We didn't have that before. It was only in English. Now we've nicely put it in all three languages. Una mica de català, una mica de castellà. Me gusta, me agrada.
There you go, people. From all around the world, let us know who you think will be the first scorer for tonight's game. Lamine and De Jong have got in each other's way a bit there, just bundled each other over. This is Eric Garcia now, wide to Gerard Martin. I'll tell you what, Spence, whilst people are letting us know who they think will be the first scorer, I will ask about the key of the game, because I have a habit of leaving it a bit too late, and then something happens, as it might happen here. Gerard Martin in a bit of space here for Barça. Pullback is good. Rafinha left it. Lamine couldn't quite get it, and Girona swipe it clear. Now Olmo to plot the ball out the sky. Holding off Jan Martin. This is De Jong once more. Can he conduct things tonight for Barca? Lamine. You'd expect lots of the ball, wouldn't you, for the Blaugrana? He's dispossessed there, though, Lamine. Here's Brian Hill. Kubarsi was assertive in his challenge. Spence, I'll ask the question, the key for today's game. Got these three options for you. Is it to tighten up defensively? Does that have to be a goal for Barca? Not just tonight, but in general. It wasn't good enough at the back, was it, against Atleti, who carved us open at times, really. You've got to be ruthless in the final third. That's certainly been an issue in recent weeks. Or is it simply the presence of Rafinha out there on the pitch?
I like number 3 as one of the options. So if you put that in there, nicely done.
Thanks. Yeah.
But I kind of go back to what we were saying in the pregame, which is number 2. You got to be ruthless in the final third, but without the ball as well. Like right here, this is the exact moment, right? Girona trying to play out of the back. it gets a little nervy at times if you're when Gazzaniga's got the ball. So actually, we just saw it a moment ago. That was the second time that Gazzaniga had a touch. The first time, he was ready to push a pass out to the right flank, and Rafinha slid in with both feet in an effort to just try and get that deflection goal where it comes right back at you and into the net. And listen, I don't know how close he actually was, but if you do that early, you sort of put it in the keeper's mind, right? Like this, I'm coming for you. You better be plugged in the whole time.
That's a nice switch from Cubarsí, isn't it? Gianmartin's going to get that too, and he's got Rafinha here in some space. Rafinha's pullback. It's going to find Lamine Yamal for Barça. Ooh. And he started that curled effort, maybe just a little bit too far wide of that far post and couldn't curl it back around. Decent chance that though, Spence.
Great chance. And there's the cutback that actually we unfortunately saw a ton of times with Atleti. But at Atleti, they were utilizing that cutback against Barça, and that's what led to, I can't remember exactly, there were 4 goals, but at least 2 of them ended up from that.
Yeah, they did get carved open, Barca, from a really good attacking, slick team, I thought, on the counter-attack. There's Hansi Flick, the Barca coach, who said, we've been in very good form in LaLiga. We have to focus on that, show our best version tonight. But here's a breakaway for the home side. That was Sigankov. He tried to shuffle that through on the second attempt. He gets it in there. And that's a decent recovery in the end. And it wasn't Sigankov, was it? No.
It was Vanat.
Yeah. Vanat it was who had peeled. Sigankov was actually waiting in the middle there to get on the end of it, but in the end, safe hands from Juan Garcia. But the Barca defence, they will be put under pressure again today, Spence. It maybe has been the talking point, hasn't it? If you were to criticise what's been a brilliant Barca team, that's been maybe a bit of the flaky defending at times, something that, well, with the nature of the way we play, it can happen. And when you face a team as good as Atleti and the way they dealt with it, it certainly was an issue. Barca will have to tighten up a bit tonight.
It was the first time in a while. Look out. Ooh. It's the first time in a while that I watched a Barca game and thought the opposition has the offside trap figured out. Yeah. And that it's happened a couple of times, right? Yeah. Like we talked about, I know that the one game that we can go back to a while back is the Rayo game where they had it and they broke us down a couple of times. But that was the first time I was like, man, Simeone's got a plan. And Barca don't have an answer, and we need halftime. And I was thinking, man, if we could just get to halftime, maybe Hansi can make some sort of tactical adjustment, which is what he did. And then Barca scored, and then, things happen.
I know. I was thinking the same, Spence. I was thinking get to halftime at 2-0 maybe.
Exactly.
Damage limitation.
Exactly.
We couldn't get there.
But they just, it was the adjustments from Atleti, the pregame preparations were too good.
Yeah, they were excellent, yeah.
So I'm curious to see what this game. 7 minutes has been a good watch so far. I think both sides have intent, and both sides are also looking to pick their spots to press. Girona just did it a minute ago. Barca have done it a couple of times.
Yeah, it's not been a relentless high press from Barca, has it? Where they're really trying to pin Girona in every single time they have the ball back there. Mek is in the chat. Buona tarda, amics culers. Here we are. Welcome, my friend. For a Catalan derby, a bit of Catalan in the chat goes well. Here's Fermín López. Nice burst away from him. How good was that from Fermín López? He's still going here. And he's found Ferran Torres, who couldn't quite sort his feet out. And in the end, a vital poke towards the goal by Deli Blind. Gets back in there. That was nice from Fermín, wasn't it, though? A bursting run through the heart of the Girona midfield. Now Frenkie de Jong trying to do something similar. Lamine Yamal. Lamine here back to Cubarsí. That was nice from Barca, though, Spence.
It's good intent. And I think once Ferran gets the ball in that spot right at the top of the box, if he can just get enough space to make 1 or 2 touches.
Yeah. Get a shot away.
But he needs the space right now because it's not quite there.
No. Yeah, as you said, Spencer, Girona without possession, sitting quite deep right now. It's not one of those games where he's going to have much room. That's a Lamine Yamal dink around the back. And in the end, Ivan Martin can bring this clear. Barca are committing a lot of bodies forward. They ought to be careful there of what Girona compose on the breakaway. If that had just fallen in a different sort of direction, well, they could have been in trouble because Eric Garcia was right up the pitch for that attack. That's a nice turn in midfield, isn't it? Lovely football, this. Switch was on. In the end, easily headed down by Frenkie de Jong. And now Fermín can bring Barca clear. Fermín, Lamine Yamal. Decent watch so far. This decently open game, to be fair.
Yeah.
Thomas Lemar now.
I'm going to have my eye on Axel Witsel in, not right now, but if you talk to me at the end of the first half and also depending on how long he lasts in the second half, how are those legs going to look? Because that's the spot where Barça can try to exploit the extra speed, because Fermin blew right by him a moment ago.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it will be an interesting watch, Spencer. And by the way, he is not playing in that back three. He is more of a 4-5-1, isn't it, for Michel this evening? This is Bryan Gil. That's not a bad ball on the back here to Van Aert. Girona top scorer this season. He's played that ever so well. Oh, and that's brilliant defending by Gerard Martin. Important sliding lunge because Sigankov was coming in on that, wasn't he?
It's a nervy 10 minutes, man. My hands are already getting clammy. Like, you guys can't do this to me. There was a game, one of the Barca lives that I did with Girona was a 0-0, and it was like at the time, it was easier to watch because there weren't tons of chances. Actually, my mom was at that game, and she sent in videos to Barca Live. Yeah. It's out there somewhere if you go back in the archives.
0-0. That might have been. Oof.
It might have been the last time that
22-23 season. It may be, Spence. Yeah.
Look out. The last time that the two teams. The trivia question I gave you.
Yeah, neither of the two teams scored. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I think it might have been. And
because
I was going off the 1-0, but I think it was the 0-0. Yeah.
Because even last year, it was 1-1 at one point before Girona before Barca went out and got the victory. Because I think Danjuma scored.
This is Bryan Gil. Pullback is good. Rafinha, of all people, was back in there though with a vital intervention. Girona are getting a bit of joy though, I would say. I mean, you spoke about the midfield being key. Of course, Barca without Pedri do have a much more attacking midfield lineup, and it's looking a little bit open right now, maybe, in there. De Jong is, of course, the lone sitter, almost a bit closer to him than Fermin, but they can get punished, can't they, on the breakaway, Barca, with that attacking midfield trident. It probably isn't the balance that Flick would like in there at the best of times.
Well, part of what I said in the pregame has not applied as much because Girona are clearly not trying to play out of the back because they don't want to get caught. Yeah. So as soon as they get the ball, their thought is forward or pin it defensively, and that's making it a little bit tougher right now for Barca to penetrate.
Yeah, they're setting up quite nicely without the ball, I will say as well. Girona. This is Eddie Garcia.
This is a really interesting game, though, tactically. I have to say, like, it's chess, not checkers right now. They're both probing.
Yeah, I very much agree, Spence. It is still very poised. This is Bryan Gil. That was nice feet from him. And De Jong gets back in there. He's always been a strange case to me, Spence, Bryan Gil. I mean, when he was coming up, especially through the Spanish youth academies, I thought he was a very exciting young winger, very exciting indeed. And the sort of winger who could go past you. He's probably always lacked that goal-scoring touch to his game, hasn't he, as a winger to play for maybe a top side, you know, if you to get those goals. I mean, he joined Spurs, of course, also. Not sure he ever really took off there. But certainly had very bright sparks about him, and still, I think on his day can cause a fullback an awful lot of problems.
It's exactly that, because you said it. He doesn't have the finished product. He runs more than a chicken with his head cut off.
He's rapid.
He is all over the place. But in the end, and this is kind of the difference between two players at the same position. If you talk about Bryan and you talk about Rafinha, Rafinha's got the goals in his boots, and Bryan. Every once in a while, you know, you'll say that the blind squirrel finds the acorn, right? He's got it. He finds one, but it's a lot tougher for him to do that consistently.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it didn't work in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's still young, though. I think there's some time for that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd back him that Spain is the best place for him. There's some pressure from De Jong on Witsel. In the end, Girona make a decent amount of work of it. That's nice feet from Thomas Lemar too. An excellent football to find Arnau Martinez. I think Bryan Gil had just gone too early there.
This up now.
We'll see this through though. Here's Bryan Gil. Pullback wasn't great at all, I must say. If that was onside, his players would have been screaming at him because there was a tap in the middle for two of them, and he pulled it back towards Gerard Martin. It's all academic because it was offside anyway. And clearly, good line on that occasion from Barca. I can't quite for the life of me understand why he didn't pull it back. Araujo couldn't believe the flag wasn't up beforehand. And Araujo, who, you said it, Spence, he came on at striker in the reverse fixture to win the game. Different times for Barca, very different times. Weren't playing very good football at that point. Really struggled in that game. And, God, that could have gone either way, I must say, at times. And you look back on that now, a vital 3 points in the season. It's not a bad, hopeful pass that from Cubarsí, but Rincon is going to be able to come across and swipe this clear.
And this is what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell everybody who always gets nervous when Barça don't have the game won in the final minutes. Think about that game, because that's exactly what happened. And speaking as somebody with humble experience, Girona give up a lot of late goals.
Okay.
It happened last week.
Yeah.
It's happened quite often. So if we get to a point where we're in the 80th minute and the game's not yet done and dusted, as they say, I would say have
Hold
patience.
your horses, yeah.
Have patience.
Cameron almost missed that ball up there from Fermin towards
I was
Rafinha.
gonna say,
That could
he's
have
falling asleep at the wheel here, man. Like, let's go. Come on.
caught all of us out. This is a Rincon. Back here now to Gazzaniga, who will kick on. 50 minutes play, been a good watchable 50 minutes so far, I would say.
How about Alia, by the way? That's a throwback to the way back machine there. I think maybe this was referring to the 0-0.
Yeah, I wonder what that was referring to, yeah.
That was my first 5 for 5 at halftime trivia.
Well, look at Brian Hidd. He's made that all by himself, and Juan Garcia in the end in the way of it. Yeah, Alia, let us know. Let us specify which game that was indeed in.
I think so. Seems that way.
Oh, that's a nice ball up. Barca now can break away themselves. Fermin, back
look
post.
out.
Rafinha's in here. Rafinha, can he drill it back to the back post? Still Rafinha to his right foot.
Whoa.
And he's dragged it past the post. Very nearly, just like that. Barca caught Girona a little bit napping at the back, but Rafinha couldn't finish.
God, this game doesn't take a break, man. We're right back at it.
Yeah, good watch so far, to be fair. We'll take a look at that Rafinha chance in a minute, because that's probably the closest Barca have come, Spence. Lemar. Martin's going to switch this over here to Brian Hill, who is causing issues so far. Now Daily Blind. There are spaces in behind, aren't there? It's about picking the pass at the right time. And of course, Blind going forward.
Carefully,
means there's spaces down the other end.
Here goes Lamine.
Lamine Yamal, he's clean through himself here. Lamine Yamal surely goes on his own. Lamine, he's tried to chip Gazzaniga. And I'll tell you what, Spence, with the way Girona have set up so far, you won't get many chances like that, will you? Clean through, wide open. Should have scored.
He should have scored. I mean, I guess he should have gone for the far post, but we've been talking about Axel Witsel. He was miles behind Lamine. Like, all he had to do was waltz in.
That should be Juan Garcia's. Well, this is interesting, Spence, because it's opened up here, and it's getting quite end-to-end, actually. And make no mistake about it, that should have been 1-0 Barca. There's no denying that.
Let's see. We're getting a look at the replay right now. He looked like he went for more of like a toe poke. I don't know if that's a chip, is it?
Yeah, I don't think
it's not a
that
good
right.
finish. Yeah.
I think he wants to chip it, Spence. He doesn't quite get his foot under the ball.
Because if you go toe poke, that whether it's a chip or a poke, that means you have no intention of curling the ball into the far corner.
Mm-hmm.
And that surprises me because he saw the whites of Gazzaniga's eyes and was in.
Yeah. I mean, that to me like a simple one just across the goalkeeper, a player of his quality. And that should have been 1-0 Barca. Lamine Yamal, who has 15 goals, 13 assists already this season. Well, he's been on hot scoring form. Before the Atleti game, had scored in 5 games in a row. And by the way, Spence, Barca are 1 goal away from 100 in total this season. Ooh. So we'll have to wait and see who scores the 100th goal for Barca this campaign. We thought it'd come against Atleti, it didn't. Let's see if it comes tonight.
Every pass is a seeking pass right now. Like, every pass is looking for the ball in behind.
And another one. Sigankov. 1v1 with Gerard Martin. Oh, overlaps nicely, played to Rincon. And Gerard Martin's done a few pieces of nice defending so far tonight. And Fermin in there to deny Arnau Martinez from an acrobatic volley, and it's out for a Girona corner.
I'm suffering, man.
Nice for the neutral. Doesn't help you.
What's the opposite of a neutral?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Unimplicated. I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
Corner. Lamar's going to go and take it here. 19 minutes on the clock. A good 19 minutes so far in the Catalan derby. A Frenchman here who's had quite an interesting career path. And it goes towards the front post. And I think Gerard Martin got his boot on that. Now Lamar once more. Hill. Fermin and Rafinha have got him caught there. And in the end, that heavy touch from Brian takes him out of play.
If they can continue to put out the fires like this, okay, we're getting a look at the Rafinha chance too, which I think was this was the one that ended up wide. Yeah.
Not too far away there, the Brazilian, is he? Tried to drag it back across into the front post and couldn't quite find that corner. It looked ominous, didn't it, when the ball came over to him? Lamines a few moments later was better than that, though. I will say he was in. Oh, they're going to be a typical, isn't it? The hand off, yeah.
I think no. So maybe it was a foul, but Arnau fouled him several times before Lamine committed his foul.
So Cesar Soto has given that Barca's way.
They're bringing it back.
Is what I've understood, yeah?
Yeah. Free kick Barca. And Arnau sold it a little bit.
Yeah, he certainly did. It was more around the shoulder. Flick couldn't quite believe it.
That's actually the most unique matchup of the night because Barca can try to exploit that side with Lamine more because Alex Moreno, who is the traditional left back and the only one that Girona has, is out for 6 weeks. They don't have a backup, so now he normally plays right back. He's on the left side, which is not the spot that he's used to.
No. A very versatile defender, but you're right. You'd obviously rather him at right back or centre back, wouldn't you?
So there's a chance for Lamine to make things uncomfortable over there.
Yeah, a few worries in the chat, Spence. I think because of the lack of clinical finishing in recent weeks, isn't it? There's a bit of trauma there maybe from Barca fans saying, how have we not killed off games? Or how have we not scored? And that has been a topic. Flick's spoken about it. The players have spoken about it. Barca needed to put the ball in the back of the net just a bit more frequently maybe, or at least those sorts of chances finish them off.
You know what we got going right now, Pablo? Come on. Hit him.
Flick cam.
That's my guy. It's the flick cam.
We saw it earlier. You didn't say it.
I must have missed it. I'm too engrossed in whatever's going on right now on the pitch.
Gerard Martin for Barca. Back now to Eric. Cobarsi. Can he drive forward with this? He's instead going to find Koundé. Koundé now to Fermin Lopez. Nice little 1-2 between those two. And in the end, Lamine tried a similar sort of act, and Brian Hill was watching his runner all the way, and now he goes on a little bit of a run himself. Girona playing some good stuff, though, here, Spence, early on, I must say. And playing like a team who have just found a bit of joy and confidence in recent weeks. This is Sigankov now. Oh, that's a nice ball, but that's in! Joan Garcia saves. I'm not sure if he was on or not, but he ought to have done better from there. Joan Garcia just asking for to be a bit tighter at the back.
That's a real chance. The two Ukrainians linking up. First touch for Vanat just took the ball a little bit more behind him. It got stuck under his feet, so he couldn't get the power away that he wanted to. You got to be careful, man.
Not the first time.
But that went from. We know when Barca sort of meander up the pitch that eventually they're going to get to the final third because they know how to link the passes together. I got to be honest, I wasn't expecting Girona to do that so quickly.
Were you expecting a more Barca possession, Girona just with a bit more of a wall up and then try and maybe break away a few more times? In fact, it's been more open.
It's been really open. Honestly, I was expecting Girona to take their chances every once in a while, but if they didn't... Look out.
Oh, nice ball that from Eric. That's Ferran. This is Rafinha. Can he get it back onto his left foot? He's going to find Ferran once more. Oh, who fires it just wide of the far post. I'll tell you what, in the end, they worked it quite nicely between themselves, and I think that was onside and would have stood. Decent chance again.
That was my question. It looked like Ferran was going to be offside. He would have been. But to answer your question, I was expecting Girona to either try and play out of the back and fail to do so, or if they don't get their chances of progressing to just poot the ball away as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I think both teams are actually enjoying the space, aren't they, that they're being afforded. Girona certainly are enjoying the gaps that Barca are leaving. This was Rice there who was penalised. Now Blind. Rincon. Back here to Ludovic Rice. Blind, not a bad ball over the top. Manat running onto it. Joan Garcia, cool and calm, coming off his goal line. And he's going to hat that along himself here. Blind will ought to head that on first contact. He does. Easy for Abito Reis to be able to get the ball back on the floor and find Bryan Gil now. Arnau Martinez. Oh, nice find inside. Lovely Girona football. This is Bryan Gil. Options in the middle. Eric Garcia denied those options from being found, and the flag was up anyway. But Bryan, so far, Spence, is getting on really good areas. He doesn't quite look like he's got the conviction, though, in the final third to make that pass.
Yeah.
This was offside anyway, but, I mean, he's in there, and he should find the pass.
Well, yeah, this replay is actually going to be a good example. Well, no, we're not going to get to see it, but even though it was offside, once Bryan got in, he sort of went nonchalant, sort of made it a little bit more lax and took his eye off the ball, and the control wasn't perfect. And that's what I was talking about, is finding that finishing product, which is what Rafinha does so well.
Yeah.
That as a Barça fan, you take it for granted, because all of the other teams that aren't Barça, most of them don't have someone that can do what he does.
This is Dani Olmo. There is Rafinha. He got a bit of a bump. It was a completely legal bump, says the referee. A brilliant defending in the end by Reis, wasn't it, who got in there and just obstructed Rafinha. He looked like he was in for a split second there. Flicked on header's going to go back to Cubarsí. He's popping up in central areas, though, isn't he, Rafinha? And he's causing problems in them so far. He's certainly, well, you've been able to feel his impact in this one. There he goes again, Rafinha. Not quite found.
I really liked that setup. I'm surprised Koundé didn't go for the pass, because that was all because of the initial Fermin run.
Yep, there was a gap there.
They drew Daley Blind out wide.
That's a nice one, too, between Gerard Martin and Ferran. His cross is overhit, but it will find Lamine Yamal, who is lurking at the back post. Here comes Lamine. Couldn't take it past this man. He so often is tricky to stop there, isn't he, Lamine? But denied on that occasion. Koundé slides in. Oh, and
I missed it. I wasn't looking. What happened?
Michel tried to do like a bit of skill where he flicked the ball up.
Did it not come off?
It wasn't bad, to be fair. You know when the ball comes to you, I'm trying to explain this, when it comes to you and you go for the little
Yeah, the little around, the tiny around the world.
You flick it up on the first
Yeah. It didn't come off.
Just try that. It wasn't the smoothest, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Michel Català.
Rafinha in a good area here for Barça. Tries to get a shot away and does. And he got some fizz behind that, didn't he? Just over Gazzaniga's crossbar.
That's what Barça have been missing. Without him on the pitch, we don't have anybody that can do this, and I especially with his look out. Oh! Why didn't we get the full replay?
He was not stopping that, by the way. He had his head turned.
For context, there was a dude in the stands, and the ball went in just over the crossbar. He must have received a headache.
A whack.
An hostia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. They surely have got to show the full clip of that.
I don't think we're going to get it.
No, neither, but...
Which is, well, better for that guy.
Sigankov now. For a lot of the close calls we've had in this game, Spence, just one shot on target so far for Barça, for example. One from Girona also. That's nice football again, though. And this is onside this time. Bryan Gil. And Banat! Oh, what a save by Joan Garcia. Flag was up. Advantage played. I think just on that final pass, Spence. Big opportunity once more. And I'm not so sure he would have been off, you know.
It would have been very close. That's now 2 chances for Vanat, who's trying to slot it in. Boy.
In the end, a big left hand from Joan Garcia.
Why are we whistling? What's going on?
I'm not sure. Is there a Girona player down, maybe? I think Cubarsí was saying to maybe play the ball out. No, I don't think there's anything. We'll play on. Eric now drives forward. Fermin's popping up in a good little pocket there. Eric instead dishes it wide here to Frenkie de Jong. De Jong back to Gerard Martin, and Barça can recycle and start again. Cubarsí reaching half an hour of football here playing at Montilivi. This is Lamine Yamal. I think there was a player off the pitch, maybe is what was happening. There was some whistles because signal there from the referee to allow them back on. Yeah, I think so. Gerard Martin. Eric. Frenkie de Jong once more. He's got Olmo there in a nice little pocket. Olmo. Maybe a long-range effort is the way in today for Barça. Lamine Yamal. No one will have as much space as he did some 15 minutes ago when he was bearing down on Gazzaniga's goal. Should have done better. Good space this for Eric Garcia. Cuts inside, finds Ferran. Can he get a shot away out of his right foot? Instead, dinks it over to Lamine Yamal. Laid off to Jules Koundé, who did get his feet in a bit of a muddle. And look at that from Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, Elmer Days is feeling, I think, the same frustration that a lot of people are feeling right now. Dip in form, got to find our best form, miss chances every game. I don't know if that's a dip in form, but the missed chances are starting to pile up.
Eric. Now Olmo. Olmo can drive on here for Barca. There very much is that Girona wall just put up, isn't it? Now Barca are going to have to try and break through it with Koundé now wide right. And often we see him here. Koundé beats one in a more traditional sort of right fullback role. Lamine Yamal is the one inside. Lamine, Olmo. Barca trying to break down that Girona back line in some way. Koundé wants more. And they'll go again. They'll rotate. A pattern of play we've not seen very much tonight, actually, is starting to appear here, which is pretty much attack versus defence. Yeah,
it's more than a back four, it feels like, because there are other players. The two wingers have come back to help along the back line. Brian and Sigankov are both wide.
Ooh, don't think. I don't know, Martinez felt that was a foul, but Lamine Yamal was adamant. Got to hold him, I suppose. It's not an awful lot in it, to be fair. And maybe you'd feel like there's a bit more leniency defending someone like Lamine.
The play that the tactic that we always see from players who feel like they've been fouled, where they just sort of stop playing and put their arms up, it usually works. Just gonna say, if I was gonna do that, I would do it in the spot Lamine just did it in your attacking third. Because if you take that risk and you sort of stop playing and you're in the defensive third, it gets a little dicey. Yeah,
we do see that a lot. And then there's often the case, Spence, where it's play on, and it just...
Right. All right, here's a set-piece chance. Let's see if they can take advantage of one of these.
It's going to be Olmo to swing this in for Barca. Koundé was up. It sort of hit his back in the end. Eric Garcia can bring it down. He gets a shot away. And now Olmo can retrieve. Rafinha down the line. He's got Lamine Yamal inside instead. Lamine, what a lovely cross that is.
What a pass.
Koundé, Gazzaniga got a bit of the ball, a bit of Koundé's head. No appeals from the Frenchman. Fermin, was that a handball? Soto says, no, Fermin! Over the top of the crossbar. Okay, off his chest, says the referee.
That was... I have not seen him try that kind of a pass, because he usually goes outside of the boot. Just going to check to see if Fermin handled it. No, I don't think so.
I would have stood, yeah.
But that pass was actually similar to the little toe flick on the shot that he took. It was like an awkward... Let's see. He says it with the left foot, but it's like a straight sort of reverse English outside of the boot. That's whoa, very close.
And he was mightily close, wasn't he, Koundé, to getting first contact on that. In the end, a bit of a mixture in the end as to who got there first. A bit of Koundé, a bit of Gazzaniga, and in the end, no goal for Barça. Koubarsi's header at the back then. Well, we have been knocking on the door. We've carved out a few good chances so far, Spence, but still nothing doing. That's a nice little flick on by Ferran. If Rafinha can pull that down, Barca could be in.
Look out.
Now Fermin Lopez. Ferran in the middle. Fermin goes on his own. And well, if that goes out for a goal kick, we might end up being lucky. I think it's gone out for a throw-in. Yeah. Gerard Martinez will take. 33 minutes on the clock. Girona 0, Barça 0. Barça in the knowledge that if they want to end the night as league leaders, and indeed this match week at the top of the table, they're going to have to win this game here in the Catalan derby. Koubarsi. Joan Garcia. Back to Pau Koubarsi.
One of my favorite parts about this fixture is seeing the visiting team section completely full, because in general in LaLiga that's not always the case.
Very true.
It's very difficult to do that because, unlike, for example, the UK, it's just a lot harder to travel from Barcelona to Galicia, But not today, no problem. I was actually on my way to work today from Girona. I saw a lot of Barca shirts in the city, a lot of them.
There you go. You can see that's away in his pack. That's not a bad ball, though, to Brian Hill. This should be the opener. It isn't for now. Banat's missed that. Sigankov. Ivan Martin. And then at the back post is Brian here. This is going to fall here to Thomas Lemar. Lemar away by Gerard Martin. Witsel heads it down.
Getting away with some right now.
And
that
had
should have
Banat
been
gone on the end of that, that would have been 1-0 Spence, wouldn't it? No doubt about that. And I think this time it was onside. But Incon's not giving up on the move. Eddie Garcia is going to come and put out the Girona fire. And Ferran will do well to win this back for Barca. He hasn't, so the next wave of Girona attack will come again. De Jong got a foot on that. And Joan Garcia able to slide and keep this out.
They're not going to get away with this the whole game if it keeps up like that. I mean, we're going to get a replay, and I'm not sure how or why that didn't end up as at least a shot on target.
Not for the first time tonight, Spence. If you look at the stats here on our screens, not a lot of shots on target are coming up, or not a lot of shots, but that's because there's been chances like that one which don't go down as a shot, but boy, they're a good chance. Here it is, Spence.
I mean, what more can you do at that point if you're Brian? We talk about Brian not having the ability to score or set up goals. That should have been something.
Should have been, no doubt about that. It slides in weirdly out of the Ukrainian, I thought. And in the end, unable to get any clean contact on it.
"36 minutes in."
He'll be pleased, though, Misha, at least relatively with what he's seen. His side are carving out chances. And as Elmir says, if we keep missing like this, we'll get punished. Well, sides with quality are going to get chances against Barca.
I agree. I think you got to take your chances when they come, and neither side has done that yet.
Gerard Martin drops this one back here to Joan Garcia. Now Jules Koundé. Barca with a decent whack of possession so far, edging towards the 70% mark. Still, this has been a good watch and a game with two good footballing sides who are going at each other. Arnau Martinez, good from Koundé, good defending. Then Lamine, who's been pretty active so far tonight, also defensively gets in there. His outside of the boot ball wasn't great though, and he apologises.
Where's he going with that? There's three defenders ready to defend that.
Blind. Arnau. Witsel. To Gazzaniga.
This is what we're talking about. If you can find a turnover here.
They've used the ball ever so well, though, Girona, I must say. To get themselves out of a tight spot here. And now Arnau Martinez can drive forward. It's another poor giveaway, though. Choreographed really there by Gerard Martin, who switches good. Open. This is Lamine Yamal. Pulled it down ever so well. And it was the right idea to find Ferran too, wasn't it? But he just couldn't go through. Blin with a vital intervention.
Yeah.
Well, they've worked it well in these areas, Girona, haven't they? In tight gaps there, which...
I can't blame Lamine on that one. It was the right intention for sure.
Sigankov. Rincon. Again, bursting on the right. That's a nice little flip back inside to Sigankov. And again, flashed across the face of goal. And Banat can't reach it. Well, he's not had service, has he, tonight, the striker?
No, it's interesting because we talked about the game that these two teams played 2 years ago here, and I mentioned Artem Dovbyk, and it's really hard to find strikers in La Liga. It's really, really hard to do that. And I'm not talking about Barça or Madrid or Atleti. Like, those teams, there's no problem. But the other 17, they got to work really hard to find a guy. We did the Mallorca game a couple of weeks ago, right? And that was Vedat Murici. Like, it's hard to find a consistent striker, especially because, Dovbyk, who was the first Pichichi winner in La Liga, not from Barça or Madrid since, I believe, 2007, I think it was,
right,
with Villarreal.
Right.
As soon as he won the Pichichi, he was in Girona for a year, and then off to Roma.
Off you go, yeah.
It's hard to find one and then keep one.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that team, of course, Spence, as you would expect. I mean, Sabinho, I thought, was wonderful to watch as well in that season. And
Aleix Garcia, who went off to Leverkusen. Jan Couto, who went to Dortmund.
Yes.
Oh, we got the flick cam. I love the flick cam.
There is Hansi Flick, watching on pensive so far. He's got just over 5 minutes until he can have some words with his team here. Right now, 0-0 is what the score's going to be at the interval. Kubarsi now. It's not as if Barca haven't had chances. Same can be said for Girona. Gerard Martin.
Wide areas seem to be a little bit more free. I think that's where you got to go. I think you got to look either on that left edge or try to work with Lamine over here.
This is Lamine Yamal. He's got Koundé there providing support. Doesn't use him. Instead flips it inside towards Olmo. He's trying things, isn't he, Lamine? I'm not sure with how much conviction he tried that one, though. I mean, it felt like a pass that even he didn't really believe was going to come off. And you got Garcia and Kubarsi making a nice partnership there to deal with that with Banat lurking. If they play this well, can catch Girona side out, who are trying to press really high here on Koundé. You can see that. They've achieved what they wanted there and driving the Frenchman back to his centre halves. Now, De Jong can spin in midfield. You can see him there. He's urging Gerard Martinez to get in behind so he can play it in behind to it. Rafinha. Varane. Asking a lot of Rafinha to get back on the end of that with a little give and go. And how about this?
Oh my goodness.
From Reis, he's still going here. What a run this is from the Girona centre-back. It's all of a sudden opened up for him. Eric can stop him only by fouling him. Free kick, yellow card to Eric. How about that from the young man?
I don't think I've ever seen a centre-back do that before. I mean, the only thing that he didn't do was finish.
And Eric, who was sent off midweek, commits a foul there in a dangerous area.
He even went down like an attacking player. Like he was like, I'm getting fouled, I'm going down.
The leap, yeah.
Yeah, the leap. Oh my goodness.
Booking for Eric Garcia then. So he'll have to play the rest of this one. Victor Reis, yeah, all the way up from the back, and some shift there from him.
One former/current Manchester City player against another. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Reis is on loan from there.
And a set piece chance here, Spence, for, you imagine Sigankov will take it, right? Yeah, there you go. 3 minutes until half time. It's Sigankov who strikes. That's not a bad attempt. It's over the top of Joan Garcia's crossbar, though.
I think that 4-2 that I've mentioned a couple of times, the worldly goals that we saw there, that's kind of what is lacking in this game, is that finishing touch.
Yeah.
Because both teams have gotten to the final third and even to the last pass.
Watch out here, Spence. Speak of the last pass. Lamine's found Rafinha. Oh! It's off the post. And agonisingly, it just won't go in for Barca. That combination again, Lamine to Rafinha. And somehow we're still goalless at Montilivi.
I took a deflection off of Rincon. Like, what more can you do, man? At some point, one of these just has to go in.
It just won't happen for Barca, who have remarkably still not got their 100th goal this season.
I mean, I did ask the question. Oh, hold on.
Rafinha's corner. Oh, it's all the way to the back post where Ferran's lurking. Sigankov clears only as far as Lamine. He's got a screamer here last season from that sort of range. Now Ferran. Oh, it's a good ball by Ferran. Olmo's in. Eric's up. And it's easy. The Gazzaniga, Eric felt as though he was impeded as he went to jump for that one. Hugo Rincon certainly put him under pressure, didn't he? And
head injuries. 2.
Yeah, play going to be stopped here. And a yellow card's going to come out, is it?
No.
I didn't think it would be. I thought, where's he going? That there, Spence. That's just good defending from Rincon to put a bit of pressure there, and then you got to see he sort of makes the fall for him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he made it hurt, that's for sure. It's not the most respectful challenge.
No, it isn't, no.
But that's not one that you're going to go back and look at.
Quite frowned upon now, aren't they, those sorts of moves where you sort of arch in and allow a player to fall over you? Certainly seen worse than those, but they can be dangerous.
It's a grey area because I think you really have to find a way to take that out of the game. Yeah. But it's also, I guess the way to say it would be that if you're about to find yourself in an aerial duel and somebody goes up and you decide you don't want to go up, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But I would maybe equate it to basketball a little bit, where I know that's not your sport, but if somebody's shooting a jump shot, like a 3-point shot, and it's a jump shot, so both feet leave the ground, as the defender, you're not allowed to be in that player's landing space because they might roll their ankle on your foot. This is a little bit more...
Got you. Yeah.
A little bit more physical than that, but yeah, I don't love it.
Yeah. Quite a lot of traction in the Premier League. I remember a few years ago that 1 minute of added time, by the way. At the end of this first half, a first half that looks as though it's going to end 0-0 unless Barca can do something about that late on. Lamine Yamal got bumped, did he, from Arnau Martinez? No, says Arsoto. Bit of a tussle on halfway.
It's getting a little chippy out there now.
It is a little bit, yeah.
I've been saying this is a friendly Catalan derby. No, now they're starting to, like, both sides are feeling what's at stake, you know?
Yeah, certainly so. You can see it, can't you? That's nice from Rafinha. Now Frenkie de Jong. Maybe one last chance for Barca before the half is up. Lamine Yamal. Still Lamine. Through to Olmo. He's in! That's a penalty, is it? Yes, it is! And with 5 seconds left of the first half, Olmo got there first. Daley Blind made a challenge, and all of Girona's good work could be undone.
And he doesn't seem to be arguing the point, so that means contact was made, and Daley Blind is not saying I didn't touch him and he stepped on him. That's a penalty.
That's going to stand, people. So Barca now, after a tricky first half, have the chance from the penalty spot to take the lead here at Montilivi. It looked ominous, didn't it? Always those are when it's a 50-50 ball. You know, if you get there first, there's a good chance you're going to be clipped. Blind, head in his hands, experienced player. He knew it, didn't he, Spence? That, my God, that's a nightmare scenario for me there. And look at this. It's going to be Lamine Yamal to take it. I just was going to ask the question, Spence. Who takes this? Lamine or Rafinha? Well, we've seen in recent weeks or in the past, Villarreal, I remember that Rafinha received the ball from Lamine. This time around, it's the Brazilian who gives it to Barca's number 10. So here we go then. Lamine Yamal already has 13 goals this season. He scored all 6 of his previous penalties.
Is that all in the same spot?
Looks like it too, Spence.
All right.
Lamine Yamal here against Gazzaniga, the last kick of the first half in the Catalan derby. There's a delay from the referee, who now does put the whistle to his lips. So it's Barca's number 10 here, who steps up and who hits the post. And it's going to fall out here. And there you go. It just won't go in for Barca. Koundé to the back post, away. And that's going to be half-time. Well, my goodness me, what a few days we're having here.
Wait. Just make sure that there's no encroachment or anything. Oh, my goodness.
At half-time, it is Girona 0, Barca 0. Lamine Yamal's missed penalty on the stroke of half-time pretty much sums up the last few days for Barca. The ball just won't go in the back of the net. Inches in it, really. And in the end, there's no goal for Barca. It's been a good first half, very watchable, but still, we're without any goals here in the Catalan derby. Flick couldn't watch at half-time. It's Girona 0, Barca 0. My goodness me, Spence. I mean, can you believe it? Can you believe it? What a chance for Barca that was. Gilt-edged really in the end. We've had good ones in the first half. That the most clear, of course. And Lamine Yamal strikes the post from the penalty spot. My goodness me. A real let-off for Girona, who just felt as if all their hard work had been undone. Well, no. Still 0-0 in this one.
I mean, we've been talking about it this whole game. And this whole month.
Yeah.
Gotta take your chances when they come. Rafinha hit the post a couple of minutes before halftime, and you thought, okay, that's a good effort, right? He just got unlucky. You hit the post on a penalty. Gazzaniga was rooted to his spot. Put it in the back of the net. Let's go already. Wake up, boys.
That's a big blow, isn't it, for Barca? You will hope they don't get psychologically affected by this, won't you, at halftime? Flick went straight down the tunnel after he couldn't even watch it. And it does feel very typical right now. I mean, you mentioned it, Spence. A lot of those in the members' live chat have been speaking about it. It just feels like right now we are lacking that clinical edge. And we said it at the top of the program. We said it at the start of the game. A key of the game, got to be clinical, got to be ruthless. And you do in these sorts of games in a title race like this one. Coming here, we know it's going to be hard tonight. You got to take a penalty chance like that.
I mean, you have to, because you don't know how many chances you're going to get in this game. And I would think that in a game like this, considering how open it's been, there will be more. But there are going to be more for both teams.
Yeah.
And both teams had chances. Barça had the clearer chances. Lamine had a really good opportunity early as well.
He did, yeah. He should have scored.
You know me, man. I'm usually the, it's all right, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
We got a second half of football. But now, 45 minutes, that second half, which we do have.
Yeah.
That the one that they just replayed is the one I was talking about. Now, it's go time, man. No more messing around here. Hansi is going to lay into these boys at the half.
I get the feeling, Spence, and that's a topic to discuss. What does Flick say at halftime now? I do think he is. I do think he's going to raise the levels a little bit. Because I think even he will be getting frustrated as a manager, won't he? Because it's when you see a team are making the chances, when they're being gifted chances on this occasion with the penalty, and they're not taking it. I mean, it does become a topic, and you don't want it to turn into a thing, if you like, where it's like, Barca are always missing their chances. I think especially with Rafinha's return, we expect to be more ruthless, don't we, in the final third? You can maybe forgive it more when he's not there. But certainly with him back in, you just need someone to take this ball by the scruff of the neck almost and go bang, corner. As Rafinha tried to do there, off the post and wide.
Yeah, and I'll also throw one other take into the fire, which is that when games like this look like this, you no longer have the excuse of, well, Pedri's not in the lineup. Because usually, when Pedri's not in the lineup, and Barca struggle to score, and they struggle to generate chances because they don't have that midfield maestro who's always doing the heavy lifting that you don't see. But how many chances have there been?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Pedri not being in the lineup today.
Yeah, there's been more than enough chances for Barca. None more gilt-edged than Lamine Yamal's penalty miss, agonisingly off the post and wide. You said it, Spence. Gazzaniga rooted to his spot. This has been a good half of football, though, a good watch, and it's not as if Girona aren't getting chances. I mean, you can see the stats. They're not all very telling because there's been a lot of close calls. I mean, for example, that doesn't go down as a shot on target, of course. But, Spence, this has still been a half for Barca where they have... I think someone said it in the chat, and are you going to check up?
Yeah, two.
Expected goals,
two.
yeah.
2. I mean, 0.7 of that 2 is from the penalty, but still.
Yeah.
0.75.
Still, a game where really we should have scored. Yeah, probably. I agree with that. I think we deserve at least 2 goals in this game, really, at this stage. But it's a game that you said, Spence. It's not just all attack v defence. Girona are in this, and they're also carving out some good chances themselves.
Yeah, this is going to be a tense second half, I think. Because if Barca don't get that goal in the first 15 minutes, then the pressure, which was originally on Girona in this game, starts to shift a little bit to Barca in that they know they need a goal in order to get to the top of the league.
Yep, yeah. You can start to get a bit desperate, can't you, at that stage? Well, that's what Barca don't want today. Remember, they had to bring on Araujo as a striker to beat Girona at Montjuic earlier on in the season. Let's hope it doesn't get to that this evening. Half-time, though. Girona 0, Barca 0. We've got a half-time quiz for you all to play along with. Catch your thoughts, catch your breath, recover a little bit, and then we'll go again for a really big second half in Barca's season. Don't go anywhere, people. We'll be right here for the second half action. See you shortly. Right, hello there, people. Welcome back here for second half action between Girona and Barça. Spence, you've been able to gather your thoughts a little bit after that first half. To be fair, a good first half, a good watch. I mean, it's not like Barça aren't creating chances. The frustrating thing just remains we can't put it in the back of the net.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. Like, we need to just find a way to bulge the nylon.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I thought. Okay, penalty. I thought perfect route in. Perfect route in. You get a penalty, that's your chance. We missed it too. Very, very frustrating way to have been pegged back again, I suppose, you know, with not finding the back of the net. Spence, I'll ask you a question which isn't easy. It's who was the best player in that first half? You've got three options on your screen. To be fair, I mean, Rafinha I thought was very good. Gerard Martin I thought was solid at fullback. Olmo showed a little bit. He won the penalty. Still think we need to see more from Olmo. Fermin, Ferran, I think we could still see more from those three. But who are you thinking there?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's one of those games where if Lamine had scored even one of the two chances that he was given, the chance in open play or the penalty, he would not only be on this list, he would probably be the one that we all say was the best player in the first half because he did have some really nice moments. He had a couple of good passes. He was working with a different matchup that we weren't expecting with Arnau on the left side. But you can't miss those chances. So obviously if you look at these three players, I think Rafinha was the one who we were missing him. We needed him back, and he's created those opportunities for Barça. He's done it with a couple of nice drives and also the shot that hit the post.
Maybe a night for Lewandowski, Spence. He's on the bench, of course. I mean, I know he came on in that cup game against Atleti. Couldn't find the back of the net one. Couldn't find the back of the net in that one either. Maybe something Flick's thinking about there when Barca are so struggling to find the back of the net. Could he be an option?
I am having a look at the bench here right now just to see what we got. If Marc Bernal comes on, we're going to have to do the Bernal rap.
I think we're going to have to do it anyway.
Lewandowski could be a good option. Let's see what happens with Rafinha and how we know that he's probably not going to go the full 90.
Yes.
So then what happens next? Because I don't have a clear-cut answer to that right now. Maybe Lewandowski comes in and Ferran goes to the left. Or maybe Balde comes in off the bench as a winger. I wouldn't rule it out.
Or Cancelo?
Either one. Either one. Both of those are good. That's why the Gerard Martin left-back start is an interesting one because I would think he's in there to play 90 minutes.
Yeah, it is interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, Spence, players are back on the pitch, so let's go back to game commentary for the second half. There you have it then, players back out here on the second half, or for the second half. Girona 0, Barça 0. Spence, we were just saying it, no changes at half-time between the two sides, but you making the point of what Flick can do with his options. And maybe with Gerard Martin as that left-back, he was saying there's an option for a Cancelo or a Balde to come on as a winger. Of course, no Marcus Rashford again tonight for Barça. He's a part of the injury list with Gavi, with Christensen, Pedri.
Right. And that's why it's interesting to see what's going to happen because Rashford is the obvious choice to stick in the spot where Rafinha is probably not going to play 90 minutes. But that probably means that with Gerard Martin starting, I think I would be really surprised if either Balde or Cancelo didn't come on in that left wing position at some point in the second half.
Well, it all depends, I suppose, on how this one goes. Barca will be hoping, desperate really, to get an early goal at the start of the second half, just to calm the nerves a little bit after that first 45 minutes. We are back underway here at Montilivi. Plenty of chances, plenty of good football. And there's some early defending to do here, which Kubarsi took charge of. And then three Barca players got in each other's way. And some light appeals there for a back pass. Never going to be done. And rolled out here to Jules Koundé. Come on then, Barca. Big second half ahead of us here. Certainly in the LaLiga season. And in the title race.
You know, they were outplayed in the first half over the last week against Atleti, and then they came out in the second half with a fire.
Ooh, wasn't the best flick on head of that. Lamine's going to get on the end of this ball. Arnau Martinez didn't clear. Lamine Yamal went for goal on his own. Got the shot to him, maybe trying to make amends for the first half. But he had Rafinha and Fermin making late runs at the back post, didn't he? Rincon in a bit of a spot of bother here with Olmo on his back. In the end, he's been able to dish that one through to Ivan Martin.
Yeah, I think Lamine is going to be trying to make up for
Yeah.
that miss this entire half. But that's a good start from him. It's the right play. It was just well defended.
I mean, he ought not to force it, though, mustn't he, Lamine Yamal? He must still keep his head down, play the right passes, pick the right move.
Yeah, I think that's been his most important growth factor this year, is picking the right pass, because he's being defended differently, obviously, over the last couple of years, since he's proven himself to be a Ballon d'Or contender every year. So now he needs to figure out, all right, where do I need to be selfish and where should I be unselfish? And he'll get another chance tonight.
Lamine. Now Koundé. Back to Barca's 18-year-old. Still Lamine Yamal. Good defending on this occasion by Bryan Gil. That's not going to go out of play, though. Lamine, nice from him. Fermin Lopez went for goal himself. Important block from Daley Blind. You get the feeling, Spence, after what Flick would have said to the team at half-time, they'll start to just ramp up the pressure here, Barca, in this second half. Corner early on. Don't be surprised to see Girona just play a little bit deeper and deeper as the half goes on. Rafinha there in front of those Barca fans. Gives the signal. In by the Brazilian. It's deep. It's to the back post where Eddie Garcia's lurking. That hit a Girona head, I think. And it's going to go behind for another corner.
They've gone deep on a couple of those corners now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind seeing them... No, Girona are sending... Wouldn't mind seeing them try to take one short.
Yeah. Often is what Barca do. They're swinging it right in there on all of these tonight.
Going right in.
Olmo this time. Flicked on. And that's into a good area too, but Girona have cleared. Rafinha now on the other side for Barca. Oh, couldn't quite get past. I think it was Gil, wasn't it? Yeah, he was defending there, and with some important defending too. Rafinha just tried to dance past him. Oh, a nice play too.
3-on-2.
This is a 3-on-2 if Girona hurry. It's Banat. Oh, and they didn't hurry. Koundé got back in. Still Banat. And still. And a touch from Gerard Martin. Sends the ball back to Joan Garcia. Who can bring this clear? I mean, he should have found a pass. No, the Girona striker.
We're playing with fire right now because those little release passes, those outlet passes, Girona are finding them.
Frenkie de Jong. Now Eddie Garcia. Barca unchanged at half-time, as are the home team. I expect more on the ball and certainly more shots away from Barca, though Arnau Martinez comfortably brought that one down, denying Koundé's pass through. Joan Garcia. Dani Olmo now for Barca. Ooh, that was short from Eric. And Girona have pounced. Rincon. Oh, and he got his pass all wrong. Joan Garcia couldn't wait, though. That could have dropped into his penalty area. He just volleys it clear. Ferran's lurking. Blind clears. And then quite a messy sequence in the end. Rice is showing the corner smart, but he got that wrong. That's nice from De Jong. Now Rafinha. Can he bring it down? Rafinha tried to find the pass. Rice will clear. Got away with on there, the young centre-back, didn't he?
Both of these teams are getting away with murder right now. This is as open as it was in the first half.
Dangerous, dangerous defensive play, that I must say. Koubarsi. Koundé. Only 5 minutes played. Feels like we've had quite a few decent chances so far.
I mean, the way we've been watching this game, like you just know it's not going to end 0-0. Not the way these teams are going.
Surely.
But then again, I asked the question at the beginning of the show in the quiz that they've played 5 consecutive games where both teams have scored in every game. Maybe it will end 0-0.
Eddie Garcia. Rafinha. Nice from Rafinha. This is Olmo, pocket of space for him. Olmo got his shot all wrong. I mean, the longer it does stay 0-0, Spence, Flick will be thinking, that plan I've got for Rafinha, which, whatever it was, 60, 70 minutes, He won't want to have to execute that, will he? He won't want to have to take Rafinha off if Barca haven't scored yet.
Yeah, he might not have a choice.
Yeah.
But we're getting a shot of Rooney, and that's what here it is. Elmir Days commented, Rooney and Leva, please, as soon as possible. And I would say probably in about 10 minutes, maybe 15.
Yeah.
That's going to be... Look out.
Mataniga took his time on that. That's a good clearance, though.
I mean, we can't be hanging on too much longer before we get some subs out there to make some changes.
Frenkie de Jong now for Barca. Yeah, plenty of Barca players warming up, by the way. Olmo.
The interesting thing, really interesting thing, because squads change throughout the season with injuries and availability. And both of these teams, for the majority of the year, have had predominantly defensive benches with fewer attacking options.
Yep.
Yet tonight, both teams, it's exactly the opposite. In a game like this, and both teams have more attacking options on the bench than defensive options.
Gerard Martin, cross, pullback, blocked. And Lemar. And yeah, for Barca, I mean, we spoke about it, they've got defenders who can be brought on as attackers. Cancelo certainly fits into that category, doesn't he? Ooh, that was a back pass that just about came off of Witsel, who's done a decent job so far screening that back line.
Yeah, those are those back passes that Barca should be trying to pluck out.
Easy ball down the line. Did he hold his run, Rincon? He's in a very good area, I'll say that, Rincon. Delayed his run, though, and delayed the cross in. Now Martin. Girona will go again. What looked like a pretty good breakaway for them. Going to end up maybe back at the goalkeeper here. Yeah, there you go. Clearly no clear option in the middle to get on the end of that. Switch was good. Touch was even better. Nice drive inside this. And Bryan Gil's in. He takes it in his stride. Gerard Martin got a bit of it. Gil got the shot away. And he was offside anyway. Joan Garcia will play advantage.
Yeah, playing advantage, but we can still put the flag out.
Of course we can.
Because we have that technology.
Olmo. Now Frenkie de Jong. Lamine Yamal.
Can't take your eyes off this game.
This is Frenkie. Lamine. Oh, and he tried to find Ferran in not a lot of space inside the penalty area. Nice turn from Bryan Gil, I must say. And he can get Girona clear here. And if Banat holds his run is in. God, they got it wrong again, Girona.
They're just missing that last pass.
Well, Michel's encouraging them, but I'll tell you what, Spence. That was the sort of quality that Atleti did have midweek. And they would get Barca were leaving those sorts of spaces. Boy, did they get punished. Girona just tonight been a bit off it in the final third. Final pass.
The more this game goes on like this, too, the more Barca are going to be pressing and pushing to score, the more they're going to be leaving space. And on the other end, it's just... I can't do this, man.
This is Eric. Well, Barca certainly won't want it to go long. I know you said, Spence, that Girona are a side susceptible to conceding late goals, but certainly for the nerves within this team, I think with what's happened in recent weeks, the lack of clinical edge, the longer it goes, the more Barca are going to suffer.
And conceding the late goals, we could actually apply that to the first half. They played a brilliant first half, and then we had 46 minutes on the clock, plus the beyond the additional minute, and Girona gave up a penalty.
Yeah. Yes, we did, yeah. Best chance of the game, without a doubt, that one from Lamine Yamal from the penalty spot. He had a brilliant one earlier, by the way, that he also should have scored. Still, as it were, no goals for either side. Koundé. It's been a different second half, I would say, Spence. You've got some players warming up on your screens there. Rooney, Balde, Araujo, I certainly saw. And just wonder whether Balde was going to run all the way back there. Bernal is also warming up. This is Rafinha on the top of the box. Was he fouled? Referee says no. Lemar can come away with things. He's still down, Rafinha. He's certainly got a touch in the back. That was a foul from De Jong. Sigankov, though, taken out by Kubarsi. Witsel.
It's probably going to be a yellow card.
You think so? And Lamine got back in there. Not once. And the Girona attack slowly breaks down, doesn't it? So in that regard, job done for Barca. And a free kick to Barca. Tug on the shirt from Witsel. says the referee. And he's not going to book anyone prior also. Girona may feel a bit aggrieved by that. Was this a foul then? Tell you what.
That's not shoulder to shoulder.
Not sure the referee can point to the ball after that. That, I'm shocked, hasn't been given as a yellow from Kubarsi. He swiped out Sigankov's legs and very much broke down the Girona counter-attack, didn't he? But the fact that Witsel took it on sort of gave the leeway to Barca, maybe.
What's going to happen next in this? This is one of those 0-0s that you show somebody who doesn't like football because they say that a 0-0 is boring. You know?
Yeah, it hasn't felt like a 0-0. It's felt good. Rincon. Blind. Ought to be careful there. Can't take too many touches.
That's the right move from Lamine, though, is to cut off the angle and especially make Blind work with his right.
Nice little dink over the top. Joan Garcia has been well stationed so far tonight, though.
Yep. He's had to come out.
He's dealt with that well. I'll tell you what, Girona have played some very nice, neat and tidy football. When they got to the final third, they've lacked the end quality. Maybe Lamar can bring that for them now. Garcia again down low and can claim it with his hands. And when Girona do come forward like that, it does make things a bit more open. De Jong.
Here we go again.
Lamine Yamal. No, Lamine's going to bring things back inside, and that should really give Girona time to get back in and get numbers behind the ball. Olmo.
We're getting to the hour mark, and legs got to be getting tired.
Gerard Martin. Fermin. This is Dani Olmo. Now Frenkie de Jong. Lamine Yamal. Koundé. De Jong. Back to Lamine Yamal. Is there something for Barca? Lamine. Beats Brian Hill.
Yeah.
Turns him inside out. Lays it off to Frenkie de Jong. Dink to the back post. Fermin was there. Rice has been brilliant. He heads it away.
I wouldn't mind, I don't know, a shot there. I know Frankie doesn't like to shoot that often, especially from that angle, but all right.
Lamine Yamal. To the back post. Big chance for Rafinha. Oh, and was it excellent defending from Rincon? I think it was, because that looked ominous for Girona. Corner.
I was going to say the angle was tough to see because I thought Rafinha should have been scoring that. Let's see.
Yeah.
He didn't know much about it, Rincon, but he'll take it.
Ferran has a tap in, Spence in the middle. Fermin this time to the back post. Easy clearance, really. Rafinha heads it down. Koundé once more. Can he get the ball on his right foot? He can. Kubarsi! There you go! For a Catalan derby, it had to be a Catalan player who got it. And Kubarsi, who had his goal ruled out midweek, we still don't know how. Well, this time that's going to stand. Girona 0, Barca 1. They finally found the breakthrough.
Well, it had to come at some point, right, Pablo? And it's the guy who has called the province of Girona his home for most of his life. This guy coming from La Masia, or coming to La Masia, I should say, and coming up with a goal like that in a moment when Barca have struggled for quality all month. He's been the only guy to deliver it. Maybe he was a toe offside last time, maybe not, but this time, no questions. 1-0, and now Barca finally have a lead to defend, and that changes this game dramatically because that 0-0 had made it wide open. Let's see if it shrinks a little bit and becomes a little bit more defensive. Yeah,
well, this is fascinating, and immediately, Spence, the fact that Rooney is on the touchline would say to me that Rafinha's night may well be done here, and that Flick said an hour of football, Barca have taken the lead. You can now come off. That comes at a perfect time for Barca, can I just say? A real perfect time. Yeah. Just when things were starting to get a bit nervy, a bit panicky. And if I'm right, that's a Koundé cross too, was it, to Kubarsi? So it's Barca's right back and right centre-back who link up and get the job done.
He was given all sorts of time, Koundé, to finally pick out his pass. Look out.
Hill. Lemar. Well, do Girona have to come a little bit further out now? They haven't exactly not got luck so far. This is Sigankov. That was onside. Banat has peeled wide once more. Cross. And he's going to get a second chance here. Banat. Lemar! Within 1 minute, Barca have conceded again. Simply remarkable. Wait 60 minutes to get one goal. Girona have pulled one back immediately. What a crazy game of football. Girona won, Barca won. It's a defensive disaster, really, for Hansi Flick's team.
I think, should we maybe have a check on that build-up just a moment ago, just to see?
Yeah. Yeah, we will check it, won't we? It was the initial pass through. I don't know if we'll see it, Spence. Here.
This pass.
Eric Garcia.
It doesn't look like that's going to come back.
That's going to stand, I think, yeah.
Yeah. It was worth a look, because then the next one, it comes right back to Vanat, so he can't be offside. Then there's this one, too. Oof, that's close, too.
I think it's again Eric,
All right,
though.
start your watch. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get it out here. Let me just... there we go. All right, we're a little... That was, what, the 61-10?
And by the way, and they've had time before that as well, Spence. So.
All right, so I'm going to add a minute to this,
this
stopwatch here. Let's see how long this takes. Let's just sit back and chill.
And Sotogrado is actually explaining to Hansi Flick the situation. By the way, subs have gone ahead for Barca despite the goal. Rafinha's off, Rooney's on. And Gerard Martin is off for Balde. Didn't take long this week, did it, remarkably?
That quickly? Well, if it's the right call, then I'm not going to complain about how long it took. At least it wasn't 7 minutes.
Strangely enough, the semi-automated offside was working this week.
All right, listen, you got the first one. It came from an excellent... Dude, that was like a carbon copy of 2 years ago. Christensen scored the goal.
Yeah, incredible.
In this case, Kubarsi scored a really, really nice goal. Like, put it on a mantle. That was beautiful.
Nice header, yeah.
And then 60 seconds later, 70 seconds later, it was a tap-in, which is what Dovbyk had 2 years ago. That's crazy. This game's going to end 4-2, hopefully in favor of Barça.
Hansi Flick will be pulling his hair out, though, Spence. Go on.
And just going to say, both teams have scored. Here we are again.
There you go again, yeah.
6 games in a row between these two teams where they've both scored a goal.
So a new left-hand side for Barca with Balde and Rooney on. After 60 minutes without a goal, we had 2 there in a space of 60 seconds. Truly remarkable how football works sometimes. But from a Barca perspective, Spence, Flick will be putting his hair out. He won't be able to believe that Barca have had to huff and puff so much, get a goal, and give up one like that immediately, right?
Well, you said that Barca scored at the perfect time, and part of that was... Well, no, you're right. Part of that was because they were just about to make some changes.
Oh, watch out here. Balde might be able to nick that off. No, Sigankov, you were saying.
They were just about to make some changes to help solidify defensively what they wanted to do, or at the very least get some fresh legs out there.
Yeah.
And before they could even do that, 1-1.
Lamine Yamal for Barca, who are back where they started. Koundé's taken that really well in his stride. And we were just intrigued to see what sort of response Girona conjured up. Conjured up a pretty impressive one, didn't they? And I was quite intrigued to see, Spence, how the next 10-15 minutes went at 1-0.
Yeah.
We're not going to get to see that now because we're right back where we were.
Yeah, this continues to be an open game, I think, no?
Yeah. Rooney. Well, I was wondering if maybe Girona are going to have to come out a bit more now. Fermin might take that shot away, he does. It's going to fall to the Swede, who is playing off the left, of course.
Interesting. Right?
Yeah, a player who prefers playing off the right, but he's not going to be there whilst Lamine's on the field. Eric. Now Kubarsi. Lamine Yamal, chance and space to run at Brian Hill. Laid off here to Koundé once more. Beaten out by Gazzaniga. Ferran was in there. There's a few appeals for handball in there from the Barca players. I can't imagine it being given to Spence simply because there was such close proximity after it came off of the goalkeeper.
Couldn't even tell.
Nope. Lamine. Frenkie de Jong. Koundé. Back now to the Barca number 10. De Jong. What you would say is the celebration from Kubarsi when he scored was one of relief more than euphoria, wasn't it? Barca going to have to do it all over again with Rooney, with Lamine. And I found that an interesting anecdote in the goal celebration. Now Fermin Lopez.
Starting to pin Girona back a little bit.
Very much so. Balde.
Need to find the time to get the confidence to connect with that 1-2 and get something on target here.
Lamine. Oh, nice ball. Fermin's in. Oh, and it was taken off his toe in the end. Brave defending, wasn't it? Because two players went to that. I think one got a boot in the face and ends up back in the hands of Gazzaniga.
What sort of wizardry?
Oh.
That Lamine pass, it's just every time every time I get. Okay, so here comes Fran Beltran.
Yeah, there you go, Spence.
And Joe Roca.
Roca also onto the field, so Hill's night is up.
So Brian's done. Interesting because you've also, at some point in this game, I would imagine you've got Christian Stuani who's going to get out there.
And the goal scorer Lamar is also going to come off here, I think.
Which is another, well, unless it's Witsel, I didn't see.
Unless he was just applauding.
No.
Yeah, it is Lamar, yeah.
It is. Beltran has usually held that 6 role. So unless he's planning to get further up the pitch, or he and Witsel will share in defensive midfield duties. This is going to get harder for well, it's going to get harder in the sense that there are going to be more players behind the ball for Girona.
A very tidy player from Mediterranean. Spent so many years at Celta Vigo, didn't he? That's why we knew him so well. But now can come on just to pad out this midfield here. That's nice football. And here he is. First involvement for the Girona number 8. Is a pretty good ball to the back post. And substitute to substitute. Joe Roca probably should have scored. His header went straight at Joan Garcia. Brilliant pick out.
I can't remember a game that for 68 minutes I haven't like had a chance to, I don't know, look at my phone. You know?
De Jong for Barça, who are now past the halfway mark in this second half. They would have wanted to have been in front by this point, to go in front and then get pigged back immediately. That's going to be tough. It really is.
I kind of like what Brett's saying. Stop, Lamine. He's talking to Lamine. Stop looking for assists. Start looking to score. I don't hate that.
Yeah. Rooney's cross. Very central. Easy for Gazzaniga.
We need him to make more runs to the touchline to draw 2 defenders. There we go.
Well, he's going to have some more support up there with him because Lewandowski is going to be coming onto the field here. I'm intrigued to see, Spencer, this is like for like, or if Flick's going to leave Ferran and Lewandowski out there. As it were, Girona are just motoring through the Barça midfield when they come forward. Roca lost sight of that one, but he's going to get another bite of the cherry. Here he comes, Joel Roca. His cross wasn't great. It's easy for Koubarsi. And De Jong can bring things clear. Watchable game of football this. Frenkie De Jong. A little bit behind Lamine Yamal, who tries it again. Not quite enough conviction in the outside of the boot ball towards Ferran, was there? Needed a bit more power on it, really.
Oh,
Joel Roca.
this is becoming very difficult.
Fran Beltran.
Look out, Sigankov.
Here comes the Ukrainian winger.
How is this game so open?
Now Rincon. Oh, nice football from Girona. Sigankov, Rincon, Sigankov through a crowd. Flag was up again.
I've been doing this more often without the whistle actually being
Yeah,
blown.
100%. There's been an awful lot of those, Spence, not being called in the moment. Very intrigued to see the makeup of the Barca team when Lewandowski comes on here. I really am. Frenkie de Jong. We have got the semi-automated offside for this goal, by the way. There you can see Edic is quite a bit behind him, his trailing leg there. And I'll tell you what, Ronald Araujo is also going to be stepping on here. They're going to be changes on both sides too. Girona are also going to move the bench. Just adds an interesting element to this one. That's a lovely searching pass there, but Balde couldn't take it into his stride. And it trickles all the way through to the goalkeeper. There you have it, people, on your screens. Lewandowski and Araujo ready to come on. I'll tell you what, any Barca goal here to snatch a win would be vital in this title race. It really would. Barca finding themselves all of a sudden at a bit of a crossroads, a tricky point in their path. And here's Ivan Martin. Oh, how about that for feet? Garcia saves. He saves again. And he saves for a third time. And Koundé heads off the line. That's surely a foul. Yes, it is.
What is happening? Offside. Offside?
Oof. I think on Sigankov when it came out to him, maybe. Ivan Martin's well on there. He really is. And he did ever so well. Look how cool he is here, Spence.
There.
Still, though, the first save was brilliant. The second save was remarkable.
Oh, wow. That is... It wouldn't have counted, but that's just an idea of... My goodness. What a sequence. What's happening tonight, man?
Either way, Spence, Barca let off the hook again at the back. And if it wasn't for their brilliant young goalkeeper, they may well be behind here. Ferran is off.
Here we go. Here we go, man. It's time.
I think Araujo's going to come on at centre-back, though, surely. Ferran's off for Lewandowski.
For now.
Yes.
For now.
Yeah. If this gets late, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right, we got Levy, we got...
And Eric Garcia's also off, yeah.
Araujo, Eric, and... Ferran, no? Yeah. I mean, when this game was 1-0 for the brief period of time that it was, you're like, it's going to slow down, but...
Yeah. And that's exactly what Barca needed, I'm going to be honest, Spence. We needed to get that first goal, as we did, settle, calm things down, start to control things a bit more, exploit that space that Girona would have then opened up. We weren't able to do any of that because they scored immediately.
I'll tell you, Girona made a change too, and it's a strange one because some of these players you get and you're either real hot or real cold. And Echeverri, who's on loan from City here in the second half of the season, he's been that, either real hot or real cold. He cost the team 2 points when they had 3, and they ended up with 1 last week at Sevilla when he lost the ball in a really bad spot because he's one of those Argentines who's come over and he's got a lot of confidence and sometimes too much confidence. Eric's frustrated.
Very frustrated, yeah. Yeah, you can see that though, Spence, can't you, through the Barca team? That's maybe the worry, that there is frustration there. There really is. And I think the reaction from the Cubarsí goal said that. It was relief. It was a big sigh of relief from Barca, who would have been stung after midweek. And the fact that they haven't been able to score more than 1 tonight, to then be pegged back immediately. I mean, that reaction from Eric Garcia there after being subbed off pretty much paints the picture, doesn't it? Well, that's not a good giveaway from Balde. And a clean through here, Joel Roca. Big chance for 2-1. Oh, what a save by Joan Garcia. He just keeps on making these sorts of stops.
He's becoming the player of the game for me. Throw the airplanes up. Give me the... There it is. Oh, my goodness. What a save.
It is a wonderful foot stop by Joan Garcia, who is having to be called in to severe action here to deny Girona from taking the lead themselves. Seemed unthinkable, but with 15 minutes left to play here, Barca are really staring down the barrel of a fascinating situation in LaLiga. Corner is low, it's away by Koundé. Joel Roca. Barca need a hero, they really do. They've grown in confidence, though, the home team, haven't they, Spence, as this one has gone on.
¿Qué le ocurre a Eric? He just got frustrated.
Corner again. And Joel Roca's come on with plenty of energy. He's been everywhere.
Nervitz. Look out. Oh, whoa. Okay. I was just going to make you attent to the fact that Girona took it short and then they blasted it out for a goal kick.
With that man there.
Ah, there was Echeverri. There he is. He was on loan at Leverkusen the beginning of the year, didn't get any playing time, so he said, you know what, I'm going to come here and see if I can get some. Not if you kick him like that.
De Jong for Barça. Inside to Lamine Yamal. Frenkie de Jong. Araujo now. Don't be surprised to see him launched up front in the last 5 minutes if this is still 1-1. Olmo. Well, we are at a stage now, Spence, and I said this in the reverse fixture where it could be one of those games that you have to take the 2-1 and run, don't you? That Araujo goal looks vital now, doesn't it, in the standings? Back at Montjuic, that was in October. Barca now in February, similar sort of scenario, similar sort of position. They don't want to allow Madrid to go clear at the top of the table. Balde.
They're knocking it around nicely.
That's
here.
nice
Look
from
out.
Balde. Rooney's in!
Oof.
And he didn't really catch his effort at all, did he? Ought to have taken more care with it, the Swede.
Nice through ball. Nice visual. Rooney hit it hard. That's about all you can do there.
Koundé with some defending to do, and Joel Roca has got energy, he's quick. Still Joel Roca. Juan Garcia is so good in those sorts of situations.
He cuts off the angle beautifully.
Frenkie de Jong now can spin away. Echeverri is going to be booked here. We'll play on for now.
He'll be booked later.
Bernal is going to be coming on for Barca. That's a nice give and go between Rooney and de Jong, but Rincon, credit to him, was strong in the challenge. Ivan Martin's been a joy to watch today, Spence, by the way, just gliding through midfield.
He's a super,
very comfortable with the ball at his feet.
an unsung hero in a lot of ways. Remember a goal that he scored in the final minutes against Atletico de Madrid to put in a 4-3 game where who was it? His name's escaping me at the moment. The striker for Atleti for years. He scored a hat trick in that game.
Morata,
thank you.
Yeah, it was Morata, wasn't it? Yeah.
Skipped me for a moment there.
Lamine Yamal for Barca. Still Lamine. Finds Olmo. Back to Lamine Yamal. Chance this for the Blaugrana. Lamine, can he get a shot away?
Ooh.
No, he can't.
Wow.
And he gives away a free kick.
It's just every time he gets into the box and he's doing the little dingle and the dangle, you think maybe somebody will step on his foot. But
Yeah, you do.
I don't know. I just feel like there's. Let's see. It came. It's hard to see.
Doesn't touch him, does he? No.
Didn't look like it.
Doesn't touch him. The referee saw the swipe, though, and gave it.
This.
Oh, that hasn't been given as a yellow. Wow, my God.
How do you know?
I think that's what de Jong was saying to Echeverri there.
Oh, yeah. It was like the other one that Kubarsi should have gotten, although this one was
true.
even more obvious.
It's true, yeah, it's true.
But it's kind of like you said, the fact that play didn't stop. The referee didn't go back. And here we go. All right, I think it's time, mate. He's in the game. He scored the goal. Maybe he does it again here tonight.
Come on. Olmo is off. Bernal is on. And you guys, you heard it from Spence. He said, whoever scores next, I'm going to play a rap for. We've got a little special something. Bernal is on. We need it. You ready, Spence? Let's do it.
Let's do it. He's Bernal, y'all. Mark Bernal, y'all. You got a problem, got a number you can call, y'all. Oh, look out.
Lewandowski, this is chaos.
Look out.
Rooney.
He's Mark Bernal, y'all. You got a problem, got a number you can call, y'all. Pristine 22, he can ball, y'all. He's about to win the brawl, y'all. He's Mark Bernal, y'all.
You have your Marc Bernal rap, people. There you go.
Got it. That's what you get. That's all you get.
If Bernal scores now, you can thank Spence later. Balde. This is Fermin Lopez. Plaudits we're getting. You're getting.
I guess instead of pristine 19, it should have been like he's true 22. You know.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you're already thinking good.
Get the mind working. We gotta plug in. We got 10 minutes, 15 to score a goal here.
Bernal on for Olmo. Here is Rooney. Now Koundé for Barca. Wide here for Lamine Yamal. Come on, Barca. Something late on here.
There you go.
Frenkie de Jong. Koundé.
I think they need to find a couple of shots.
Lamine.
Top of the box, Fermin.
Koundé to the byline. It's got a bit of a muddle. It finds its way back to Lamine.
There's nobody near Fermin. Give him the ball.
Here we go, Spence. Fermin Lopez.
It's too late now.
What a dink that is. Oh, Lamine couldn't quite get on the end of it. Really good defending. Good strength from Koundé, though. Got his body in there. And his pullback wasn't the best, however. That's a very awkward clearance.
Now they're starting to get pinned back a little bit.
I agree with you, Spencer. That's a bad giveaway. Araujo is in a striker position. He's dinked out a decent cross too. On his left foot, remarkably. The fact that he's that far up the field means that if Girona win this, they're in. Bernal has the ball at his feet. Inside to Rooney, who shoots Rooney. Bernal again.
Yeah, now they're in hack away mode.
Yeah.
Girona, and that I think they're just trying to play it safe. Barça should take advantage of this by continuing to apply the pressure. More
shots, more crosses to the back post,
exactly.
I'd say. Get overload at the back post and get Lamine with his little dink cross. He's going to go for goal. Lamine! Oh, and I thought he'd found the corner.
All right, how close was it? We got the angle. Curling. Pretty darn close.
Not far away, Spence, yeah. Well, Eddie Garcia looks devastated on the bench, I must say. Barca still knocking on the door, trying to find a way through. That's Aniga long. Cool, Garcia with a little bump, not enough for a foul. Barca just need possession of the ball. They need to keep pinning Girona in with that storm of attack that they've been producing in the last few moments here. Balde. Rooney isn't really keeping the width, is he, off the left? He keeps coming inside. You can see that as a player who wants to always come onto his left foot, not come onto his right. He's given the ball away there in an area he shouldn't have really, and he's given away a free kick too. Frustration for Barca, right?
Oh my goodness. This is so hard. This game. This has been such a grind. Especially with the misses in the first half.
We said it, they're misses you don't want to make, and Girona still have that man, Cristian Stuani, lurking. Oh, that's lovely football. Nice flick. Koundé fouled him, booking. Easy one. They're making tired fouls now, Barca. Got 7 minutes of normal time left to play. Probably about 6 minutes once this one's back in play.
Hear the fans, they are calling for the 38-year-old Cristian Stuani. Could you imagine playing football at that level at 38 years old? You still got a ways to go.
I do, yeah.
You'll be all right.
Really,
you're still in your prime.
Yeah. Sigankov over this set piece then for Girona. That's not a bad one. Rice could be in there. Arnau Martinez turning it on his right foot.
Look out, come on, let's go.
Lewandowski not the quickest of players for a breakaway, and goodness me, his pass wasn't great either, was it, towards Fermin? Fermin's struggled also really to get involved in this game, hasn't he? Not received a lot of the ball on the edge of the D. Arnau Martinez has been excellent, I think. Commentator's curse, he's just skewered a pass. Fermin.
Or was that Roca?
I
think you got off there easy.
Slip there, let's Lewandowski in.
Levy, do it to him.
Nice first touch from Levy. Bernal. Lamine Yamal. Oh, Bernal's back in there. And Lamine tried to find him. Oh, they're trying some risky flicks at the back, Girona, which I'm not sure Michel will be too happy with. Referee's played on. Looked like a push, Lamine. Lewandowski, is that a penalty? No.
What's happening?
That looked like a push to me, no. But Barca, well, they didn't play on. They didn't really make the most of it, did they? Sigankov. Bernal wins it back. Lewandowski's onside. He's not onside, he's offside. I mean, it's chaos, Spence.
This is insane. I can't remember a game that's had so many moments where my brain can't handle or process what's going on.
Would have been tight, by the way, that with the trailing foot of Rice.
Like, you remember the Joan Garcia triple save at the... that feels like it was 3 hours ago, but it was like 10 minutes ago.
By the way, if we had scored from that, I'm almost certain VR would have intervened for a push from Balde on Witsel. And I'm not sure why it wasn't given in live time. We've got under 5 minutes of regulation to play here, though, and Gazzaniga's kick long.
This is where I have to say, just look out, because I said it at the beginning. Yeah. The late goals Girona have conceded this season, this would be a moment for Barça.
I'm got my phone off, right? Balde's throwing. Lewandowski, Barca don't want the ball here. They need it up the field. Echeverri. Koundé wins it back. It was fouled. Surely it was. No. This is Joel Roca. And the shot, it's in! Remarkable. Girona have surely won it late on. It's Fran Beltran who's got the goal. From bad to worse for the Blaugrana. Koundé was down injured. And Girona have pounced.
Was he fouled?
I don't trust them to rule it out, is my issue.
You don't what?
I don't trust them to rule it out if he was.
If he was stepped on, he was stepped on. Hansi doesn't seem to be complaining about it, which is a problem. He was stepped on.
Surely they ruled that out.
He was stepped on by Koundé, or by Echeverri.
Come on, surely they ruled that out, no? Here's the argument. He also takes a bit of the ball. Beltran's strike was really clean, really good.
That's to me, we're being objective, right? That's a foul.
For me, it's a foul, Spence, but I'm long past the point of trying to ask for fairness. I really am. If not, it's a historic goal for Girona. A crazy goal for them. Michel knows it. They're still taking a look at this.
If he steps on him and he takes Koundé out of the play...
Koundé is still down, by the way.
It's a foul.
Surely. Surely that boot on Koundé, they've given it. Goal given.
Hansi's furious.
Hansi is furious, and understandably so. This is getting to a ridiculous level now, Spence. I mean, I don't really enjoy, you know, making it too much about ourselves and the victims and the referees on this show, but this is poor. Come on. Come on. Easy one for the 4 officials in the VAR room. Easy one for the ref on the pitch. Surely he's been stamped on Koundé. No?
Pero 100%. Like, sin duda. That's a foul in every country. In just about every sport.
Just remarkable what's not going Barca's way right now. It really is. Fermin's just committed a foul throw. Referee says it was legal enough. It was from behind his head. And we are now, guys, 1 minute away from whatever's going to be added on here. But staring down the barrel of an away defeat in LaLiga that's going to put us and keep us 2 points behind Real Madrid. A real shock, this, in the title race. And the end to a pretty dark week for Barca. Well, the start to one, I suppose, on this Monday night fixture. Bernal. De Jong. Koundé.
Now what we were saying earlier about them needing to be aggressive and go and find shots, they're not going to have a lot of time to do it because you know what's coming next, right? I mean, the truth is we haven't had a ton of stoppage time, but even still.
Yeah, well, you're saying they're not going to add on very much, you think? Yeah,
I'd go 4.
Yeah. That goal, maybe just the VAR review on that one, maybe adding a bit more time. This is Cubarsí. Now Fermín López. Blocked.
About to find out.
Barca fans shocked, stunned. It was a tricky game, and I must say it was looking like it was going to surely end Barca's way at some point. Balde's cross. That's going to fall to Lamine Yamal. One now would be great. Lamine through a crowd blocked corner. How much time's been added on?
Can I get a number, please? Set?
Yeah,
Did they say set?
I think he did, Spence, yeah.
All right, well, that's time.
Cross in, and Alho! Oh, surely he should have scored.
It could have been him.
Lamine's delivery, and he was in. And had Barca got one at the top of... Oh, he gets a decent contact on it, but it's not enough to guide it in.
This game deserves, at the very least, a 2-2. At very least.
Francesca's going to come on here to try and see Girona over, also just to waste a bit more time in stoppage time. Credit to Girona, who stayed in this game and played some good football at times. Him, more than anyone. Ivan Martin's been excellent. He'll go off to a round of applause, as is to be expected for Barça. Well, really not the few days we've wanted, is it? My goodness me.
So this is that part where the late goal might come, because I always say when teams go defensive like this, they're more likely to give up goals than what they'd been doing the whole game.
I completely agree. No, when you camp in, you invite an awful lot of pressure, yeah, and those crosses to the back post where anything can happen, especially where Barca now will have Araujo and Lewandowski getting on the end of most of them, won't they? Bernal in midfield, now Fermin, Alejandro Balde. It's not an awful lot of room though for Barca to manoeuvre with here. And how about this? Rincon, Echeverry's in. Could it be 3? Echeverry! Ran out of room, didn't he?
Come on.
Marc Bernal. 2 of the 7 have been played. Frenkie de Jong. Titles can, of course, be won by just the 1 point.
Of course.
Fermin Lopez. Very deep cross. Too deep. Goal kick. It's one of those, isn't it, Spence? If Barca were to get one now, it would still feel like 2 points dropped. I mean, the argument they're going to have made on that is that because Echeverry gets the ball first there, I mean, is that usually applied throughout any other way in the pitch?
I got to be honest. I don't know. I can't. I'm really plugged into the rule book, but on that one,
I mean, I've seen a lot of settings off Spencer last year where even if you get the ball first, if you then come through and crunch someone, you're off.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm not saying that was a red, by the way. I'm just saying that it's a foul, you know.
Yep.
I must admit, you know, and I'm pessimistic when I first saw it, and this is why. Even in my most pessimistic state, there was a part of me that thought they are going to rule that off once they see the image, you know. And quite remarkably, they didn't.
No, I mean, your objective football brain tells you that if somebody gets stepped on, VAR should do its job.
Rooney, who's coming to the right, by the way. Lamine, back to Rooney. Big chance for Barca. Rooney should have shot.
Just
Why
shoot.
on earth didn't he shoot?
Just somebody shoot, man. This is... You can't walk it into the net.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Bernal. Rooney. Lamine Yamal playing in a much deeper role. He'll be ruining his penalty miss. Can he make amends here? Bernal didn't give it back to Lamine. Instead found Rooney. Need a good delivery here from Rooney. Wasn't a great one. Bernal wins it back though. Koundé flips it. Not to the back post though. Easy for Sigankov to clear. De Jong. Rooney. Pau Cubarsí.
Have Pau shoot from distance.
Fermin Lopez, need a good cross. It's a good one too. It's gone in. They're going to rule out for offside. I knew they were because Lewandowski was stood in an offside position. And he knows it.
He knows it. Let's have a look.
You could see his reaction immediately, Spence.
Oh,
it's way off, Lewandowski. He knows more than anyone.
Yeah.
And I suppose he is interfering with players, isn't he, by going for that.
That's the right call.
Don't think he touches it. This time they made the right one, funnily.
Whoops. Can't say that.
2 minutes left to play here. Barca throw.
There's still time here. There's still time to get it up there.
I'll talk about a wake-up call. Few days for Hansi Flick's side. Koundé. Now Rooney. Lamine.
Go.
Nice from Lamine. Back to Rooney. That's a corner. Surely that's a corner. Yeah, linesman giving it. Yeah, there you go. 90 seconds to play for Barca to try and snatch a point here. Surely they'll send this into the box. Rooney's going to take it. Araujo, Lewandowski. The likes in the area. That's going to fall to Fermin Lopez in a pretty good position. Referee tells him to get up, Fermin. He went for the far corner, didn't he? Balde flips it back in. Blind clear. And now Echeverri. Lamine couldn't challenge him. Balde's mightily quick, but he's used this ball ever so well. That's the Argentine. Sigankov. Arnau Martinez. Wow. It was Roca rather. That's inches wide of the far post. And we do now have under a minute to play. Is there one final Barca attack? De Jong. Lamine Yamal. Back to Frenkie de Jong.
Move it, move it.
Barca got to get the ball into space here.
Go.
Lamine. Rooney. Still Rooney. Corner.
I think this is going to be it.
This is it, Spence. Under 20 seconds to go. Will it be a point for Barca? Could it be a vital point in the title race? We won't know tonight either way. Joan Garcia has come up from the back.
Could you imagine? I can.
It will be the Swede to deliver from the corner. Rooney. In it goes. Lewandowski got one heck of a leap on that. Araujo's up. Joan Garcia's up. It's chaos in there. Cleared away. And they want the full-time whistle. Throw in. The referee's got the whistle to his lips. I think he's going to blow here, Spence. That would have been a foul, wouldn't it, from Araujo? No.
There's so much going on there. It's impossible to tell.
Oof. Risky from Echeverri, I must say. It would have been a foul, I think, on Gazzaniga previously. Play on. Balde. Referee's giving us one last chance
still
here.
Time.
Lamine Yamal to the back post. Joan Garcia's up. This will fall here. Left-footed volley. Araujo's in. Flicked on. Is it going to go in? No. Girona clear. And the goalkeeper's not in the net. Echeverri. Koundé stopped him. Oh, and he stopped him legally. Remarkable game of football. Lamine. Oh, horror challenge. Red card. Absolute horror tackle. And it was Joel Roca, I think, who's been sent off. I must say, I'm surprised he didn't blow beforehand, the referee.
This is the only way for this game to end, is just utter chaos.
Lamine Yamal is furious. He is fuming. As it were, Joel Roca is going to leave the field of play here for Girona. I mean, we're nearly in the 100th minute here, people. Let's have a look at this. That's a bad tackle, yeah.
I've seen worse reds.
Yeah. They're both poor tackles, honestly.
I think the fact that he sort of got crunched in a spot like this is what amplifies the situation, because the idea was just to bring him down any way possible. All right, one more chance. We thought this would be it a while ago. There's one more chance here. Late goals, baby.
Rooney's over it. Remarkably, Barca have got one last chance in them. A set piece in the 100th minute. Joan Garcia is lurking at the back post for the Blaugrana. Rooney and Lamine are over it. It's in by Rooney. It's going to fall to Fermin Lopez, who wins the next header. Araujo wins the second. Koundé was in. The defending from Reis was remarkable. And Girona have won it. The clock strikes 100. And it's a historic win for them at Montilivi. It really is. It's ended. Girona 2. Barca 1. Remarkably. Absolutely remarkably. It's a second consecutive defeat for Hansi Flick's team, who were demolished in the Cup to Atleti. Tonight, well, there'll be lots of question marks into how on earth they lost. Lamine Yamal missed the first half penalty, but there were too many chances missed in the second. At full time, it's Girona 2, Barca 1. And Spence, it's one that we will have to ponder long into this Monday night here. Girona have done it. A really big win for them. They're now 5 points from safety. for Barca, a real blow in the title race. Flick and co will be wondering how on earth that second Girona goal didn't get ruled out, won't they, really? But also, from a Barca perspective, they'll look at themselves. They missed really big chances in the first half. They missed a penalty, of course, the one from Lamine Yamal. For Barca, despair, though. Anger. Spencer Siegel. My goodness me.
That's one of those games where I think we need a moment to take a deep breath, to reset. This has been a week like that, if you go back to last week. And it's the second time, including the Real Sociedad game, that Barca have lost in the league where I go,
yeah,
did they really lose that game?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what they're going to say in the post-game. I'd like to hear Hansi. I'd like to hear Frankie. I don't know who we're going to get, whoever Llorens is able to talk to. But with the amount of chances they generated, with the way that this game flowed, the from one moment to the next, the way the game would have changed if things had gone differently, had Lamine scored the penalty he was given just before halftime, had one shot not hit the post, had one foul not been called, had one foul been called. There's so much to dissect from this game, and Barca get nothing for it. That's a real shame, man.
And also in the big picture, Spence, a real blow in the title race. Real Madrid are going to sleep as league leaders once more. They're going to be 2 points clear after Matchday 24. So a big blow for Flick's team, who are knocked off top spot for the first time in the new year, in fact, guys. You have to go back really to November time, really, for when Barca were last second in the division. That is certainly a sucker punch for Flick's team, who are going to have to really bounce back from this. When immediately we can see that Pau Barça is speaking to the right holder, so we potentially will be hearing from him in a few moments' time. I agree with you, Spence. Fascinated to see what the players say at the end of this one. But my goodness me, it often feels like in football that when it rains, it pours, right? And I feel like that last 3, 4, 5 days for Barca, my God, that's a lot to stomach, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat right now who are saying this is really bad. So many chances, no goals. They wasted chances. I take it back to last season, at the beginning of the season, or about the little before the midway point in November, when Hansi's team really struggled. Yeah. And we went through a really bad month. And this month, particularly, in context compared to that month, hasn't even been that bad. No. You lose in the Copa, so you got a chance to make that up later, potentially, with a miracle. You lose this game, you lose the league lead, but I still have to think that this type of form, if you can just make those minor little tweaks, which is really, it just comes down to finishing some of these chances, which professionals usually do over the long haul. Obviously, you're still right in this title race. You can be disappointed tonight in the chat for sure, no problem, but there's a lot of league left to play. A lot of league left to play.
Yeah, that's what I would say, Spence. Matchday 24 we're at, guys. So I know it's going to be difficult, and I can see a lot of you in the chat, as you just said, Spence, and I know there's a lot of emotions running riot here, really. It has been a tough few days. There is no doubt about that. I think the Cup was a big shock, the scoreline, of course, of it. Tonight was really tricky to take when you get yourself 1-0 up and then to lose 2-1 there in the manner we did is very tough to take. But the big talking point, or a lot of the big talking points, Spence, one of them has been the clinical finishing, right? I mean, how it just hasn't come off. I mean, Barca have missed so many chances in recent weeks. They really have. And I look even at the Elche game, we won 3-1. You and me were here thinking, what on earth is going on in that game? I mean, we got that one in the bag in the end, but the chances in the first half, and it has been a topic. And what you don't want to happen is the team really feel that frustration. That would be my worry, because I think you're right. The Cup was a huge blip. Tonight, I think can happen. You're going to lose games between now and the title race, so will Madrid, I think. But I think the frustration of the players' faces when they're missing the chances, the relief on Pau Barci's face when he scored, was maybe a bit to me to go, they're starting to feel that. They are, because you can see then towards the end of the game, they get a bit desperate. And everyone that doesn't go in, it's like, another one. But you don't want that to stop the team from playing the good football that they have been playing, if that makes sense.
I agree with you. And I think part of the frustration comes from the fact that the goal that Cubarsí scored took a monumentally high-class header to get into the back of the net, and the ones that Barça didn't score were far clearer chances, and maybe that's where the frustration comes in. But that's why I would like to think that the confidence will be there over time, that they end up scoring some of these things, because the difference between Barça and almost every other team in La Liga is that they manage to get themselves into those positions to score more often.
Yep.
And I all you have to do is use the example from tonight's first half, when Girona had just as many chances in the first half, but Van Aert didn't even come close to taking one of them realistically.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go straight on here. Some thoughts from the players at full time. Then we'll take a quick break here and show you the highlights. We do indeed have the first interview of the game coming in. Let's go to it. Hello there, people. Welcome back here. Girona have beaten Barça by 2-1. It's certainly a blow in the La Liga title race. I'll tell you what we'll do immediately. We will indeed hear some of the first reactions coming in from the Estadio Montilivi. Let's see who Llorenç was next to.
Sí, amb el Pau Cubarsí. Bona nit. Sensacions amb les que marxeu després d'aquest partit i sobretot d'aquest final.
Sí, marxem amb sensacions dolentes de no haver pogut treure la victòria. Jo crec que hem de millorar una miqueta de coses. Sí que portem 2 derrotes, però jo crec que aquesta setmana amb descans i mirant-nos bé doncs millorarem.
Moments segurament de calmar, de frenar, de desconnectar si cal un moment i fer un reset, no? Perquè encara queda molt per endavant, no s'ha perdut res.
Sí, portem potser un mes, 2 mesos sense parar, això també el cap ho nota, però jo crec que no hem de posar excuses perquè som el Barça, tenim el nivell espectacular i jo crec que hem de guanyar tots els partits sempre.
Pau, sensació que s'haurà de fer molt i s'haurà de fer molt bé per guanyar aquesta Lliga. Una mica com sentiu dins del vestidor veient algunes decisions que estem patint últimament.
Bueno, tothom jo crec que ja des de casa ja ho veu, ja opina ell mateix. Nosaltres ens hem de fixar en nosaltres mateixos, que és l'únic que ens podem fixar perquè l'altre no va amb nosaltres i nosaltres ho hem de donar tot sempre per intentar guanyar la Lliga, que encara queda molta cosa.
I l'última molt ràpid. Avui, òbviament, no és la millor manera, no? Però el gol, primer de la temporada, l'altre dia te'l van pispar, avui sí, gol 100 de la temporada i, a més, segurament per tu en un lloc especial.
Sí, un lloc especial, el que va ser casa meva 3 anys, els hi tinc molt de carinyo, molt content pel meu primer gol, però jo crec que no ens hem de fixar això, sinó amb el que hem de millorar tot l'equip.
Ànims, Pau, i gràcies.
Moltes gràcies.
First words there from Pau Kubarsi, mentioning at the end, yeah, special place for me to score my first goal of the season. But look, we're Barca, we have to strive to win every game. There are some decisions not going our way, but right now we just have to focus on ourselves. That certainly is a topic, isn't it, right now, Spence, the decisions or whatnot. But I do agree with Kubarsi, and I suppose all Barca can do is focus on themselves. And sometimes it feels like when it rains, it pours, and maybe when you're not scoring goals, then a decision doesn't go your way either, and vice versa. Just very much feels like Barca are in one of those periods, or it's only been 2 games, but if you consider the games we've won and not scored enough goals in also, where just things aren't quite coming off. And I'll tell you what, we can go straight to the highlights from the game too, Spencer. Take a good look at what happened in today's matchup between Girona and Barça. Might be a hard one to watch again, but this was a game where plenty of chances, weren't there, for both teams. And certainly for Barca, who will feel as though they should have probably put this one to bed on another night. Rafinha starting off here with this low drive to the near post.
Yeah, and when we look at how many chances there were in the first half, I'm seeing some of the highlights now from the second half too over here, but as we focus on this, you're going to see so many that you go, these are ones that Barca score in their sleep. This one in particular, yeah. Lamine is all by himself, and we said in live action that he was going for a chip. I really don't think he was. I think he was going for some sort of weird toe poke. And then, but again, we talked about the chances on both sides. Joan Garcia had to make a ton of saves. Vanat was in behind often, and if it wasn't him, it was somebody else. And then we would. This game had highlight package doesn't do it justice. There were way more chances than what we're even seeing now.
Yeah, there were a lot were called narrowly offside, or that there were ones that Girona players couldn't quite get their boot on the end of, or ones across the face of goal. There was a lot of that, and in terms of shots, this is what really happened. And then this, stroke of half-time, bang, penalty Barca, and what a chance, Spence, to go in at half-time, change the entire complexion of the game, and put yourself away.
It's exactly that. This changes the game. You go up 1-0, and then you get a 15-minute break to talk about it. Unfortunately, Barca went up 1-0 at the wrong time. We thought it was the perfect time. You said it was the perfect time.
Yeah.
It comes here on this goal from Pau Kubarsi. It's a brilliant goal. I mean, it's a fantastic take. He's from Estanyol in the province of Girona. Do you know what we did population of Girona earlier, Girona City? Do you know what the population of Estanyol is?
No.
183 people. That's where he comes from.
He did the one-to-one interview with Llorens, didn't he? And they were speaking about that, yeah. And a minute later, Spence, this happened.
It's a little bit of bad luck because it's cleared by Kubarsi, but it comes right back to Vanat, who can't be offside because it's Kubarsi who touched it. And then this we had no idea what was going on here because there was actually an offside at one point, even though the ball ended up. This would have counted, so that save is huge.
Yeah.
This follow-up from Vanat, even though it was what a save, it wouldn't have counted. And this it just continued. This save is for me the best of the night, without question.
They were getting chances though, Girona. It is the thing. It wasn't just a game of relentless Barca attacks. Here comes another. This is the goal, in fact, from Fran Beltran into the bottom corner. And if you haven't seen it, you can see it now. Well, maybe you can't. There was surely a foul on Koundé.
I'm surprised. There it is, right there.
I mean, come on, really.
Social media is going to have a field day with that one.
But Barca, even then, in 7 minutes of added time, this was chaos. This went to the 100th minute, by the way. Araujo missed. A red card challenge from Roca. A bit of chaos to add to the day. And in the end, it just wasn't to be for Barca, who tried to dig out a late chance in the last dying minutes. But no, it simply wasn't to be. The faces of the Barca players there on full time say it all. And remarkable images to watch back on, Spencer. I'm just having a glance at the stats. This isn't good enough. 27 shots in total and 4 on target.
And 27 shots seems like way more than what I saw them do over the course of that game. We were screaming in the final 15 minutes for them to shoot. Screaming for it.
Yeah.
But I think, the big difference is 4 on target. That's what makes it a little bit tougher, because that's the clear sign that the clinical finishing isn't there.
Yeah.
Because Rafinha's shot off the post doesn't count as a shot on target. Lamin's penalty off the post doesn't count as a shot on target. It's just got to be a little bit more clinical. Make these keepers make saves the way that Joan Garcia is keeping you in the game by the saves that he's making.
Well, I'll tell you what. We can go immediately to Llorenç Ares. He's with Joan Garcia. Llorenç, endavant.
Imagino per aquesta doble derrota, la d'avui que fa mal, una mica valoració del que ha passat avui, què us ha fallat per no treure els punts d'aquí?
Bueno, crec que han sigut superiors ells, sobretot a la segona part. Crec que corrien amb molta facilitat quan recuperaven pilota. Ens ha faltat, entre altres coses, parar les jugades a camp contrari, jo crec, fer amb alguna falta o el que fos, però que no corressin tan fàcil, perquè això al final els feia arribar amb molta gent a l'atac i a part doncs, nosaltres ens desgastava molt haver de tornar les transicions. Llavors, bueno, hem d'analitzar-ho bé amb vídeo, aviam què ens diu el míster i intentar millorar-ho.
L'equip necessita un reset, ha estat un inici d'any molt intens i no sé si abans del tram final en què us jugueu totes les competicions, ara és un bon moment després d'aquestes dues derrotes de tenir el cap fred, calmar-se i analitzar el que està passant.
Sí, està clar, al final això només ho podem arreglar en futbol, no hi ha un altre. Llavors, sí, ara per sort tenim una setmaneta lliure per analitzar bé, per treballar tots els conceptes de la millor manera i a partir d'aquí veure això, en què fallem, què podem millorar, però també mirar-se cadascú què pot fer millor. Al final, quan tens aquesta dinàmica és perquè tothom ho pot fer millor. Llavors, analitzar-ho tot i intentar millorar.
És obvi, i ahir ho deia Hansi Flick a la prèvia, que hi ha coses que pots controlar i que són les que t'has de preocupar i coses que segurament no pots controlar. Avui hi ha una altra acció polèmica, que és aquest segon gol del Girona. No sé com ho has vist des de la teva posició i una mica si teniu la sensació que aquest any s'haurà de fer molt i fer molt bé si es vol guanyar aquesta Lliga.
Bueno, sí, l'acció que dius jo en directe és molt ràpida, no la veig bé, però l'he vist repetida i per mi és falta. Al final, Jules és el que arriba primer a la pilota. Jo crec que una altra cosa és si el del Girona primer arriba a la pilota i llavors el xafa, però crec que Jules arriba primer, llavors l'altre amb l'inèrcia el xafa. Però en directe l'àrbit pot no veure-ho, com igual que jo no ho he vist bé, però sí que és una mica sorprenent que des del VAR no li facin anar a veure com a mínim. Al final és el que dic, l'àrbit no ho pot veure bé, que el VAR el truquin, que ho vagi a veure en una pantalla tranquil·lament i a partir d'ara decideixi.
L'última, molt ràpid. Què li diríeu a la gent, als culers avui, que encara queda molt i quin és el missatge una mica des de dins del vestidor?
Sí, això que ens segueixin recolzant. Al final, en una situació una mica més complicada que abans, però seguim vius a totes les competicions. Llavors jo crec que això és important, encarar-ho de la millor manera possible i nosaltres, que no tinguin dubte que treballarem per revertir la situació.
Joan, gràcies i ànims, que queda molt.
Merci.
Yeah, nice to hear Joan Garcia there, just trying to calm down a few callers, saying, hey, we're still working very hard inside the dressing room. There's still a long way to go. I thought his first answer was interesting, Spence. He said we needed to stop Girona earlier, either by winning the ball back or with a foul, because we were having to do a lot of running back. And we were saying that it was a very open game. And he was then saying we were then actually tired to then go forward ourselves. There was too much running back and forth from us. And we spotted that. I think, to be fair, Pedri maybe come back in midfield would add a bit more balance in that regard, that it wouldn't be such an open game. But for me, they got through our midfield too easily today, Girona. They really did, especially in the first half.
Yeah, you're right. And that is a surprise for me, because I was not expecting Girona to break through that easily in a game where at the beginning of this game, in the pregame, we talked about how Barca's high press would be a key. And they clearly went out to accomplish that goal by winning the ball high up the pitch, and they never did. They rarely managed. I think maybe they got one turnover and in the final third, and it just wasn't enough tonight.
Well, it wasn't enough. More reactions are coming in. Juventus with Gerard Martin. Let's hear what he had to say.
Sí. Bé, Gerard, bona nit. Una mica com expliques una mica aquest partit, aquest resultat i sobretot aquesta segona meitat, on segurament és on us heu trobat un pèl més descol·locats?
Bueno, no hem estat bé en moltes facetes del joc. La primera part sí que crec que hem estat millor, però en defensa hem patit bastant i està clar que hem d'arreglar moltes coses i pues, bueno, cada un millorar el que pugui d'intensitat, d'actitud, de tot i estar al 100% i mostrar el millor nivell de cadascú.
Queda molt per endavant i ara li preguntava al Joan, no sé si és un bon moment per, ara que no hi ha partit entre setmana, fer un reset, calmar-se, analitzar en fred i tornar a arrencar.
Sí, ens anirà bé aquest reset i pensar cadascú en el que hem de millorar i està clar que si volem aspirar a guanyar títols doncs hem de millorar moltes coses, però segur que tornem a estar allà dalt.
Hi ha hagut alguns mals que ja hem vist en anteriors partits, Gerard, i aquesta manera com ens estan arribant, segurament també un punt en la pressió a l'atac rival, al jugador que té pilota. No sé si teniu detectat una mica on ens estan fent mal aquest tipus d'equips.
Bueno, sí, aviam, al final el nostre estil sabem que és arriscat, però és el nostre estil, creiem en ell i al final sabem que hem d'estar al 100% en tots els moments de pressió i tot, perquè si no sabem que podem patir i doncs això, hem d'estar al 100% en tot.
L'última hi ha hagut també aquesta acció polèmica del segon gol del Girona, una mica, no sé si tu has pogut veure-ho ja repetit, el Joan ens deia que sí, una mica vosaltres com veieu tot aquest soroll que s'està generant, aquesta polèmica constant, avui per què no entra al VAR, no sé una mica com heu vist aquesta acció i en general el que està passant als últims partits.
Bueno, està clar que segurament les últimes accions no ens han afavorit gaire, però nosaltres hem de procurar fer la nostra feina abans i tancar els partits abans i que no depengui guanyar o perdre d'aquestes decisions.
S'ha de ser optimista. Gerard, queda molt encara?
Sí, no, queda molt i tenim un equip molt bo, molta qualitat i ho demostrarem i tornarem a estar dalt.
Gràcies, Gerard. Ànims.
Yeah, there you go. Some positive words, I suppose, from Gerard Martin, from Joan Garcia to say, look, we're going to work hard. We're going to get back to it. Do Barca have to just take this as a blip, Spence? I think what I don't want to happen here is for everyone to go all very doom and gloom. This is football. These results do happen. And I think I made this point to you a few times, like, we don't want this to turn into like, oh, we can never score. We're always missing chances. Like, we are still in a very good position. And I think the players and Hansi Flick, I'm sure he'll do this, will do well to stay calm and keep these players on the right path. Change a few details? Absolutely, 100%. And look, these weeks now with less games are going to be great for us. I'll tell you what, let's hear from the man himself, Hansi Flick with Juventus.
Sí, amb Hansi Flick ens acompanya. Well, Hansi, your opinion of the game, what happened especially in the second half?
We defend, especially in the transition, very bad. So especially in the second half. In the first half we had some chances. Also the penalty, close to the break. We missed it, and at the moment you can also feel that we are a little bit tired. So it's like that. We have to come back. Girona deserved the win, the victory. This is what I can say. But of course, it's not the level we want to play.
It's a pity to receive a goal just 2 minutes later to score. It happened something similar in Anoeta. Is this a problem for the team? It's about concentration and mentality. I don't know why.
Sometimes it's like that when you score a goal or you get a goal, especially directly after that, you have to be 100% focused because it's normally a lot of chances can be created and this immediately a goal can fall. So it's like that. But at the end we are playing not on our level and we have to come back. It's a long way till the end of the season. We will fight. So this is what I can say and. But I'm not happy with this game, of course. I think everyone who is with Barça is not happy with this game.
the last one so quickly. It's time to make a reset, to stop, to think, to be calm, because there is too much to play.
Of course, we will do that. We have now some days, 2 days off, and I think it's for the players it's good. But then we have three days, and we'll train. And also, I want from the players that they are back and they know what they want to do to get a better level.
Thank you, Hansi.
There you go, Hansi Flick, guys. Some of the final reactions coming in there from Estadi Montilivi. He has one of the biggest roles, doesn't he, Spence, in the coming weeks, which are a lot calmer for Barça. But just to try and stabilise his team again, interesting that he mentioned 2 days off there. Could be good for the players, just to disconnect a bit and then come back with a fresher mindset, right?
Yeah, this is the first time that Barça have a week, 6 days between games since, I don't know.
Oh,
besides
Christmas, obviously.
Besides Christmas, yeah, I mean Christmas counts, I guess, but yeah, it's been a long time since they've had this much time off. I want to throw some respect Llorence's way, because I think it's important just to note this. He didn't ask Hansi about the foul. He asked the players about the Koundé Echeverri moment. He didn't ask Hansi about it, and I'm very glad about that, because I think we all know what Hansi would have said. And honestly, if you want to know what Hansi says, just wait until the press conference, and plenty of other reporters are going to ask him about it.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Spence, for Flick and for Barca, we have to focus on ourselves and focus on trying to get the other bits right. And he said, to be fair, Hansi said first thing, Girona deserved to win today. And we've just seen the highlights. The stats don't tell the full picture, but they had a lot of chances, Girona. They were getting opportunities. I don't know if I'd go as far to say as they deserved to win, but hey, like for a side like Girona, I thought they really put up a good fight today, played some good football, and they hurt Barça at moments. They did, and there are areas in our defensive setup that we're going to have to rectify or tweak a little bit if we want to stop teams getting at us.
Well, it's interesting because the stats tell a story that goes completely against what Girona have been over the last several years. The year they went to the Champions League, the top 3 teams in terms of possession were Barça, Madrid, and Girona. No. And that's because Michel's system is based on possession, but with the number, how many fewer passes did they have? Total passes, 300 to 740. So they had less than double, or Barça had more than double the amount of passes. And think about what Girona were able to do with their passes. They sliced through Barça tonight.
Yeah, too easy for sure. I think the way they carve through the midfield needs to be looked at. Certainly the way the defence is dealing with constant attacks on them is another issue. Probably Llorens asked Flick about conceding immediately after scoring. What a big blow that was for Barça. I think on top of the penalty miss in the first half, there are a lot of elements tonight. And then you, of course, go further forward. I do think that Barça became a little bit more toothless after Rafinha went off. A real shame that we just got our goal when he was on the pitch. And then typical, really, that the second Flick went, great, you're coming off now. Rooney's going on after an hour. Girona went down the other end and scored themselves, and it just happened to fall in that way. So for Barca now, they're going to have to really focus up. Spence, in coming weeks, Levante at home is on Sunday. Quite a bit of time to that. Yep. You have to then wait 6 days until you will see Barca face Villarreal, also at home, I believe. That's going to be a tough game, and it's another home one. Then you've got the return leg of the Cup, if I'm not wrong.
Hold on. Sorry, I was on Real Madrid because I wanted to take a look and see what they were doing next, because this has turned into a really tight title race.
Yes.
But Levante, Villarreal, the Copa, which is the first days of March, and then Sevilla, and all of those games are at home. The only road game they have is March 8th against Athletic Club.
Yeah, and between Athletic Club and Sevilla, you've got the first leg of the Champions League round of 16 too, which will be wedged in there. Or yes, indeed it will. Yeah, second leg is the week after. So it's a good few weeks for Flick now to at least try and calm things down. You're right to mention Madrid because they've had a bizarre few months or whatnot, and I'll tell you what, we can discuss them. Go on.
And they have Champions League knockout phase to play as well that Barca don't have to do.
They do. I'll tell you what, Spence, we'll have a good discussion about this in a few moments' time. Let's say good night to our colleague Llorens Ares. Llorens, not an easy evening for Barca, of course it wasn't. In the end, defeated away at Montilivi. A tough one to take, a really tough one to take. It's been a difficult few days, but you've spoken to the protagonists. They all said, look, we've got some time now to recover, reset, and try and go again in the next few days.
Sí, companys, des de Montilivi ja hem pogut escoltar els protagonistes i és evident que l'equip el que necessita ara és tenir el cap fred, descansar aquesta setmana que no hi ha compromís entre setmana, pensar en els propers 2 partits a l'Spotify Camp Nou contra Llevant Villarreal, sumar els 6 punts i tornar a agafar la dinàmica positiva, perquè òbviament la polèmica hi serà i se'n parlarà aquesta setmana, sobretot amb aquesta acció de la falta sobre Jules Koundé, però el Barça hi ho deia i Hansi Flick. Hi ha coses que pots controlar i són les que t'han de preocupar. Les que no pots controlar, oblida-te'n. I no ens enganyem. Aquesta lliga serà molt difícil i el Barça haurà de fer molt bé si la vol guanyar, perquè estan passant coses, sobretot els últims partits, que són difícils d'explicar, però aquesta no la pots controlar i és el que han dit els protagonistes. Les que sí pots controlar les has de fer millor i el Barça fa uns quants partits que ha perdut el control al mig del camp, està permetent que els rivals arribin. Avui Joan Garcia ha fet diverses intervencions de molt mèrit i aquí és on el Barça ha de posar el focus per intentar millorar en els propers partits. Però el que dèiem, sobretot cap fred, tranquil·litzar-se i queda molta temporada encara per endavant. Aprofitant que no tenim aquesta eliminatòria europea, l'equip blaugrana ara tindrà uns dies de festa i el proper compromís, com dèiem, diumenge contra el Llevant a l'Spotify Camp Nou, on estic segur que el Barça tornarà a mesura també que vagin tornant els protagonistes. Òbviament, avui Rafinha, per exemple, ha jugat 60 minuts, però encara li queda per estar al millor nivell. Aviat tornarà Pedri, evidentment Marcus Rashford també, per tant, s'ha de ser optimista amb el que queda perquè aquest equip ens ha demostrat que pot oferir un molt bon nivell. No m'ho has preguntat, però t'ho dic, Pablo, avui les meves puntuacions li dono 3 punts a Pau Covarsí per aquest gol número 100 de la temporada, el seu primer de la temporada. L'altre dia li van pispar amb un fora de joc una mica estrafolari. Avui sí que ha valgut el gol de Pau Covarsí. Li dono 2 punts a Lamine Yamal, que ho ha intentat moltíssim, i també un punt a Joan Garcia, que ha fet un parell d'intervencions fantàstiques. Per tant, companys, des de Montilivi, en principi ja no tindrem cap més protagonista, això és tot, i ànims, que queda molta temporada per endavant.
Llorenç, I just wanted to ask one question before you leave. The players that you spoke to today, all of them seemed like they were in better spirits after a loss like that they really do feel this sense of unity as a team. It feels like they're not taking this loss as hard as you might think after the way that they played, which was they played really well tonight, they just didn't get the win and didn't finish the goals.
Jo no veig preocupació dins del vestidor, però sí un punt de dir ràbia perquè aquesta setmana no ha estat la que desitjàvem. Òbviament, a semifinals de Copa t'enfrontes a un gran equip com l'Atlético. No et surt un bon partit, però no penses que després, 3 dies després, tornaràs a cometre els mateixos errors. I, òbviament, al Girona avui li ha faltat encert ofensiu en algunes ocasions que ha tingut. Per tant, el tipus de partits jo crec que són bastant similars, on el Barça pot encara millorar molt. No veig preocupació, però sí un punt de ràbia de dir què està passant, no? Hem tingut un mes de gener molt intens, de calendari molt intens. El que demanen els jugadors doncs ara és tenir el cap fred, aprofitar aquests dies també de descans, aquesta baixada de ritme competitiu i aprofitar-ho per tornar amb més força, perquè, òbviament, el mes de febrer no guanyarem la competició de Copa, ni la Lliga ni la Champions, però ho has de treballar perquè a final de temporada sí que puguis optar a aquests títols. Jo crec que l'equip és conscient que molts d'aquests jugadors han viscut situacions així. El Barça ha perdut 2 partits, punt. No hi ha tampoc una alarma excessiva, però és evident que ningú esperava aquests 2 resultats i sobretot avui les sensacions que ens deixa la segona meitat després del partit contra l'Atlético. En tot cas, Gerard Martín ha estat molt tranquil, Joan Garcia ha dit que no hem merescut guanyar especialment a la segona meitat i Hansi Flick, que ja ho hem vist, ha estat contundent, però sincer, com sempre, el tècnic alemany.
Yeah, Llorenç, thank you very much. Yeah, interesting indeed. I'll tell you what, Llorenç, go and get some rest, go and get yourself warm.
Merci, Marco.
We'll see you very shortly indeed. A tough one to take, of course, for the Culers. But yeah, you're to ask, of course, interesting, but also positive, I suppose, to hear the players saying, we're going to work on it, we're going to get back, and, this is not the end of the world. 2 losses.
The league is long. Like, that's what it comes down to. And I think what Llorenç said, especially the way the players see this, is that you can't win LaLiga or the Copa or the Champions League in the month of February. And that's because we still have 3 more months of this, 3.5 months really, to see where this goes.
Yeah, we do. There's the table, Spence. We were just having discussing a bit of Madrid now. 2 points behind Barca. Remarkably, in a bizarre season for Madrid, which there's been so much talk about, and almost as if they've been in so much disarray. They're 2 points clear, and they've got one of their best point returns in recent history at the top of the table. They've been very good at picking up points in recent weeks, but this title is no way done yet. It's still alive. We still have the Clásico to play at home, of course, in May, Matchday 35. That is, my God, that's going to be exciting. We're seeing the highlights on our screens once more, people, agonising as they are for you all to tune into. Barca had chances in that first half. I suppose it's now, Spence, a game of, unfortunately, looking out really for those Madrid results, as we, of course, have been in recent weeks, but trying to just hope that they drop points here or there and doing our jobs too.
It's going to be a really interesting set of storylines as this season comes down to the wire, because Madrid are 2 points in front right now, and Xabi Alonso is sitting at home. Like, there's so many things that have happened already this season, which, if you're a glass half full individual, tells you that there's so many more things that are still going to happen the rest of this year before it's all said and done. And that's probably the encouraging part, because this is a 2-horse race, and we will find ourselves on the 10th of May, more or less, in a Clásico situation.
We will, Spence, and that's going to be good.
And the things that can happen between now and then, there are, I want to say, 10 league games between now and then. That's Matchday 35. We just played Matchday 24. So, 10 games between now and then.
30 points.
There's a lot that can happen.
Yeah, there is indeed a lot that can happen. All eyes in the next few weeks. You're seeing the goals on your screens right now. Plus, that means penalty miss in the first half. Barça got the scoring started. Then Lemar, 90 seconds later, really, or so, pulled one back for Girona. Nothing that Joan Garcia could do about it, who was then forced into several good saves as the half went on. My goodness me. Barca not really good enough in the second 45 minutes. You would say that for a team pushing to go on and win what was a must-win game, of course. Didn't quite create enough and forced into too many defensive actions. Here's another one. Joel Roca off the bench. Save by Garcia.
This is a save that, even though Barca didn't get any points from this game, I want to play that back all the time. Look at the leg extension. That was headed for the back of the net. That was headed for the far post. And then, there's nothing that Joan really could have done about this goal, because I think he was anticipating far post. Fran Beltran just tucked it into the corner. And obviously that action leading up to it is what everybody's going to be talking about. But I think, when we'll hear Hansi's reaction and the players' reaction about that particular play, is that we had so many more other opportunities to make this game right, and then obviously the red card at the end. There's just a lot that could have happened differently in this game, and it's a shame that it turned out this way.
I completely agree. I mean, it turned into a chaotic game, and I'll tell you what, Spence, when the last few minutes were being played, I did think to myself, how have we let this happen? How have we let this happen? I know that the last goal, there's going to be a lot of debates, and I'm looking very much, not looking forward really to opening Twitter later, but in general, like, you look at that first half, there were good chances that Barca on another day, Lamine scores his first one. He scores the penalty. Barca are pretty much home and dry. They could tie up in the second half if needed, but we let Girona creep into the game more and more and more, and gave them encouragement, and they took it. Credit to them, they took it with their home fans behind them. And in the end, they got what they deserved for what was a really, really strong second half display. It was, and there's no two ways about that. There is a lot of work to do for Barca in the coming weeks. We've got 2 days off now, as Hansi Flick has let on to us. We're still waiting to hear from the German coach in the press room. It's going to be intriguing to see what he has to say in that regard. But now it's just all focused forward to the coming weeks. We've got a lot lighter of a schedule, and to try and move on from there. I do think, of course, bringing Rafinha back in was a big bonus. Spent 60 minutes today. You'd imagine that'll be 60 minutes plus against Levante on Sunday.
Probably.
Pedri is going to be coming back in soon. The date that's been floating around has been the 22nd. There's nothing confirmed on that. We'll have to wait and see when he is fit to go. Let's see how serious Rashford's is. Flick said it's not serious, so he's going to be a big player to bring back in. Today, for example, would have come on at left wing.
Yeah, and I think if we're also, maybe Hansi's searching for solutions, But I think if we're trying to find one player who's just clinical and scores goals and knows how to lead the line, Lewandowski's he's just always there. He's always scoring. Like, I think it's time to trust him. I don't want to say every game, because I don't think he can take on that sort of load right now, but definitely is the number one option.
Yeah.
There's nothing against Ferran. I thought actually for today, I thought he was going to be the right choice, honestly. I thought,
didn't really work out, though, did it?
Chasing down those back passes, but Girona just continued to slice through it, and so he never had a chance to run down those passes. And Lewandowski, for me, should be the guy starting at that position for every important game.
I'm hearing you. When you're in a moment like this where you're struggling to find the back of the net, having a player like Lewandowski sat on your bench, I mean, teams would look at that and go, "We've got no sympathy for you, right?" Because
Girona would have killed to have Lewandowski at that position today.
Exactly. Teams would look at that and go, "Well, there's your answer, right?" And I do agree with you. I think Ferran's been good this season. He's scored a lot of goals, and it is a position we'll have to rotate. But I'm getting where you're getting at, Spence. And I actually was surprised to see Lewandowski not start tonight, just because of the last few weeks. The fact he didn't start against Atleti. The fact that we knew this would be a little bit tight tonight. And when you've got a player who, year upon year, for well over, 10, 15 years now, has been scoring 20, 30 goals a season, you'd expect him to be on the starting lineup, wouldn't you?
And Levante's next, and we can't bring Luke de Jong back, so it's going to have to be Levy.
God, remember that one, yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. You'd have backed him to get the nod, wouldn't you? Let's have a look at the league table, actually. I'll go to page 2 on this one, which we don't often do, but just to see where our next opponents are sitting currently.
Are they in the bottom? They're in the bottom 3. Yeah.
This is good news for Girona, of course, who are up to 12th, by the way. 5 points clear of safety now. Levante are quite a way off of safety. 7 points. It's a good home game for Barça to have, who in recent weeks have had Levante at home, Real Oviedo at home, Mallorca at home. Got 3-0 wins against both of those previous teams. Can that be the case against Levante? I mean, it's the sort of game I suppose you'd want, isn't it, in that regard, after one like this on paper?
I'm going to say it exactly like this. Levante came into Montilivi earlier this season and won 4-0. Okay?
Yeah.
That being said, if Barça don't manage to beat Levante at home, then we've got real problems.
Yeah.
Then we've got real problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. I think obviously that what you don't want, those Spence, is what I think could happen, and that's that there's going to be a lot of pressure on that game. There's going to be a lot of pressure, and the longer the time goes on, the more frustration builds inside the stadium. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't really want this to turn into a moment where Barca now are feeling stressed and pushed to constantly score goals, and we'll have to be careful to manage that really in the incoming weeks.
Yeah, let's manage. Let's see how Hansi rotates in February, because I think that's going to tell us a lot about what his plans are for March. There's very little in February that he needs to tinker and tinker with and like work through, because there aren't as many games. So how is he going to balance making sure that everybody gets rest and choosing the best 11, so that once March rolls around, he knows who's in the best form for the right games? I know that's kind of a generic statement, but at the end, you're going to have LaLiga, you're going to have the Champions League. Another question that I would ask is, what is your 11 going to look like for the second leg of the Copa semifinal?
Yeah.
Because how many more shows we got before that one? Two. We
Two.
got Levante, we got Villarreal, and it's you and me for both of them. How many? We're gonna repeat every time. It's still possible.
Yes. Yeah. You've got to believe, I think, in football, to be fair. You got to believe.
Why not?
Coming towards the end of this sort of program now, Spence, Llorens gave his MVP votes.
Yeah.
These were yours.
Yeah, I thought Joan Garcia ended up, unfortunately, being the best player on the pitch, and I thought Pau Cubarsí was both the best outfield player and the most unlucky outfield player, actually, today, because while everybody else was hitting the post and not being clinical, he put one in the back of the net, and then 60 seconds later, he made what he thought was a clearance, and the ball came right back to the guy who hit it, and it ended up as a poorly conceded goal. But I still think without him tonight, Barca would have been in a lot more trouble defensively, because they were on their heels quite a bit.
Yep.
Rafinha was the only player that every time he came forward, I thought, all right, there's a good chance he's going to do something positive today. And Lamine usually gives me that feeling, and he did it a couple of times today, but he was mostly covered by two guys tonight. Lamine.
He was, yeah. I mean, he got a lot of the ball, but it was a more frustrating evening for him. Spencer, I don't even have to change much other than the name because I've gone for the exact same points as you for my MVP votes. I thought Joan Garcia, unfortunately, became the best player of the game for Barca. He did, making some really big saves in the second half. In the second half, we didn't create enough by my liking, not for a team wanting to push on and win this game and ultimately win the title. Barça, I think, had a lot of defending to do tonight, more than I probably would have liked, but did it well, scored the goal, vital goal at the time. And Rafinha, I mean, the importance of him can't be understated. I mean, we look at such a better team with him on the pitch. And I thought after he went off, we just created so little. It's not anything against Rooney, but when he came on, you could already see him. And in fact, last 10 minutes in added time, it was Rooney and Lamine, both at right wing. They were on top of each other because I think Rooney decided I'm not playing left wing anymore. But that sort of unbalanced us a little bit, and without Rashford off the bench, I think we struggled in that regard. So I've gone for Rafinha also. But that late chaos, Spence, this wasn't a game that we would have wanted it to turn into. Crosses to Araujo and Lewandowski and Rooney and Lamine on the right wing.
Yeah, it was tough. Araujo had a chance.
Yeah.
You know, late in the game, I thought Balde came in and didn't quite occupy as much of an attacking role as I would have thought.
Yeah, I'd agree. He would have. I agree, yeah.
Because at some point, when you're down 2-1, you got to throw caution to the wind and you got to go and get what you can. But, well, that's for another day.
I'll tell you what, people, we will indeed begin to wrap up today's programme then, because Hansi Flick has stepped into the press room. Coleras, it wasn't to be tonight. We'll be back against Levante on Sunday, when we hopefully get back to winning ways. Here's Hansi Flick in the press room.
Per torn, no mi mitjà, la pregunta ha de ser en anglès. Comença per aquí.
El Hansi, Xavi Soler de Catalunya Ràdio, li demanaré directament si creu que el VAR ha estat decisiu avui. Do you think the referee or VAR was decisive today?
But I think it's, I don't want to speak about that because everyone saw, I think, the situation before the second goal, but at the end, Girona deserved it. They play in the second half. They had a lot of chances. We defend very bad, especially in the transition. We were too open, and so our midfield was not in the right position. So at the end, it's like it was not easy also for the last four to defend this attack from Girona. So we are not in a good mood, not in a good moment. I gave the team 2 days off because I think it's important that they reset, and then we have 3 days to prepare for the next match. And it's a long way. We are now on the second, and now we have to fight and to attack the first place on the table.
Hola, Hansi, Marta Ramon, en directe al Barça Jugar Racó. Li preguntarem a Hansi Flick com d'important és precisament perdre el lideratge mostrant aquesta imatge. How important is for you to lose the leadership in LaLiga, especially showing this image, and why do you think the reaction you were expecting from the team didn't come today?
As I always said, I think the players are a little bit tired. It's maybe it's normal. I thought also maybe for today with more control, less errors. Maybe it's a totally different game. But at the end, in the first half, we had some chances. Also the penalty, but it happens. So this also could be something about if they are tired, not fresh enough. But at the end, we have to have the hunger to win the games. You see, after this lose in Atletico, was more important today to win. So we didn't get this. At the end, it's now everyone is disappointed, of course. All the fans, the club, the players, the coaches, the staff. I think, hopefully, you are disappointed, and of course we will fight. We will fight, and we have time to come back now in the next 2 weeks. So we have no game between the weeks, between the weekends, and we train. We will train good. But also the players has to rest, and this is important. If they come back, is on Thursday when they come back. I want another mentality, another level. They train and play.
Hola, Hansi. Santiago Valle para el larguero de la cadena SER y el que te juegas de SER Cataluña. Vamos a preguntar sobre la acción del segundo gol del Girona. I would like to ask you about the second goal of Girona. Why do you think the VAR, or what did you tell you the ref about why the VAR didn't disallow the goal of Girona? And if the ref explained something to you after this action, or if you are going to talk with the ref after this press conference like last day?
I don't do that. I don't do that. Not. But how you saw this situation? Was it a foul or not a foul?
For me, it was a clear foul.
Thank you very much. Nothing more to say. Okay, was clear, and but it's like that. It's like that. So but at the end, it's like when we, for me, when we today, I will more fight for that or speak about that when we play good. We don't play good, so it's not. It looks like an excuse, a complaining. I don't want to have this. No excuses, no complaining. We have to focus, and we know that we have to play better because of these things. We have to play better, and we have to come back on this level.
Hi, Hans Helena Condis de la cadena COPE. At the end of the match, we've seen talking to the referee. You seem very angry. Did his explanations convince you?
No. Nothing. Was nothing about. I asked him. I said that this was a clear foul, and he said no.
Buenas noches, Mr. Alfredo Martínez, Onda Cero. ¿Le preocupa que al equipo le entren dudas por estas derrotas? Are you worried that the team or players will have doubts because of these defeats?
No, it's, the results are that. And so I think the results happened, and, but it shows not who we are. So we can play much better, we know that. Hopefully next week we have more players. So like Petri is there, and Rashi is there. Gabi also maybe could train with the team, or start to train with the team. Hopefully, we will see. And step by step, and they come back, and when everyone is there, so we have another situation. And I think also when we play on another level.
Última pregunta, last question.
Hola, Hansi, aquí usted para Jugones y para el Chiringuito. Do you get the feeling that the team, that Barça, will do much more than the other teams to win this league?
If we need more, or
yeah, to do more things than the other teams to win this league.
You think it's too easy to score goals against us, or what do you want, like this, or
no?
No, it's for us. No. For me, it's about
the VAR, the referee.
No, I can understand. But how I said, no complaining, no excuses. Or they make their job, and sometimes it's not a good job, but they are on the same level that we played. So it's maybe not a good level.
Doncs fins aquí la roda de premsa. Moltes gràcies, bona nit, bon viatge.